At it. We're going at
Bring
it.
it back. Bring it. Look, pops right up for me.
Here we
Beautiful.
go.
Episode
Posting.
24.
We're sharing.
Once again, baby, we're back.
Back after a nice weekend, a nice, Fire Friday cast. Felt good.
Fire Friday.
I think we both
Fuck, Steve.
aired some things out, I both think we aired some out, maybe there was like something, pent up, back frustration, who knows, but we got it out. It felt good.
It was a work week. It was a work week release.
Exactly.
It's funny how Tyler was on us at one point. He's like, next topic. That's what he wrote. Oh my god! I went back. I was like, we covered a good 25 minutes.
You saw the chat. I didn't see. I never looked at it.
Yeah, I went back and looked at it.
Yeah. But like, I don't think back and forth. Like, I don't think it was like. It's not like we said the same thing. Maybe we said the same thing 8 different times back to each other. But I think it progressed to where it was like 25 minutes was like pretty necessary.
I thought it was way longer.
That's
I was like 25. I was like,
that
that ain't too bad.
Then,
I always think about that 4-hour cast.
And then there's times where like I'm like, all right, I think it's time that we kind of dead this because we're going nowhere. It's time to kind of move on, segue into something else. Or I tried to then it's like, hold up, what this dude just said?
I've never felt that on the cast except for that one time with Garrett at the end. We're just like, okay, bro.
Well, there was the one, I think like the last one we did with Todd when we talked about like the week going back and forth. Like I feel like that one went like in a circle for a while. And I was trying to kind of move it along. But like typically we don't get there. It's like I think we keep pretty steady on things.
Yeah, it's like when we really don't talk about that a lot too.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't even know a lot. I mean, we know people, but like most people we're sitting down with, they're smacking that blunt with us. So it's fun to when you do go out of the circle like that. Hey, I'm already here.
I think one of the best outside circle moments is like you just talked about the Gary moment. We had with the island.
Great, that's just so good. That was meant to happen,
and that was fun.
Yeah,
that was like fun.
That's the thing. We were geeking on that one. We geeked the whole damn time.
Exactly.
It's like almost one of the times like as someone gets more angry, you just laugh harder.
Oh, bro,
it's just like you're mad at that dude.
And what's funny is that like when you're in that position, like it's tough to kind of like it's
so
tough to like laugh with them.
Just shut up. All you gotta do is just shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
You're better off just shutting up. Right?
Exactly.
Like, don't even go to the just like
they keep poking.
I can't believe you guys brought it
like,
up. Just shut up.
About to give it to him. About to give it to him. Hold up,
dude. Get a minute, and then just like,
fucking okay.
Yeah.
And it's like either like you just like stop talking or like you start laughing at yourself a little bit,
Yeah.
Or
the situation. Well, it's like how we were talking about like different, how people are just different. You know what I mean? People just have different. Like I said, like if you bring that topic up to Rodney. Like Rodney would geek at that for 10 minutes with us, But it's like Gary, that's not his line.
That's not the forte. It's not. Exactly. We start going down that type of like route or road or whatever. We start going down that. Especially when it comes to homosexuality, people get really touchy.
It's crazy. Yeah, how touchy people get because
I'm so comfortable. Like to me, it's a sign of not being comfortable. Like I'm sitting here, I'm just like I'm so comfortable with my sexuality. It's like
it's going Gary.
Either that or it's just based in hate, where you're just like, oh, I hate gay people. You know what I'm saying? Either that or you're just not comfortable within your own sexuality to say something, compliment a dude, whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying?
I like to think I'm super open, but there was kind of one where you guys stumped me with you and Tyler, where you guys were like, well, have you ever looked at a man and found like the shape of his face attractive? I was like, that's basically what you guys said. Yeah,
I remember saying that.
We have to check it out. That's basically what you guys said. You were basically saying like, can you still find feminism in a male figure? And like on that one, I was like, I guess technically, like I never really thought about it, but like once I get off of here, I think about.
Well, I mean, like
it's like for me, it's like, well, like I was trying to explain like the hair thing, like it's hard to even do that because I go like beard,
right.
So it's already like you don't even think like that, Right. But if you really looked at it, like obviously I got deeper in this myself when I got off, but like if you really thought about it, like when you both if you just look at everybody, like if they had bald head, bald everything, like a lot of our facial structures would be similar. Like not every man has a chiseled chin. It's pretty much the same kind of feature. I mean, obviously some people life was a little harder on them.
Yeah, exactly.
But like as a baby, like the symmetry of our heads and shit, like that's pretty similar. For me, I've never even been able to be like, I guess it would be like if I could look at it would be like if I could look at a dude and be like, yeah, you could pass for a girl. You know, I guess that would be like the closest thing that I've ever done. But I'm always so dismissive over anything. I already just don't even go down that line because it's like, you know, if a woman with armpit hair, like automatically, I wouldn't even worry about how bad you are. Like I just couldn't do it.
So to me, like the way I kind of like look at it is like you can sit there as a male, as a person, you know, comfortable within your skin. You could look at a male, another attractive male, let's say, and be like, okay, that's an attractive dude. I'm not attracted to him, but I mean, he's a good-looking dude. You know, like you can do that, right?
No, for sure, yeah.
So like the way I was trying to portray it was like, you know, I can also look at, you know, let's say, you know, a trans woman or, you know, someone transgender and be like, okay, let's just say she is attractive. Doesn't mean, you know, I'm necessarily like attractive, but like I can see the attractiveness or the person being good looking. You know, I can
basically
observe
that's
that.
a good looking tranny is what you're saying.
I wasn't good guy that.
That's what you're saying, you know. But that's what you're saying, basically. Yeah. You're like, yeah, that actually does look like one. Like,
well,
like
it's
the honest truth, goddammit. What are you trying to be PC? No. It's the honest truth that some of these motherfuckers, they dress up and they look nothing like a woman. It's not even close. But there's ones that dress up and you're like, I wouldn't know.
Well, see, like, all,
to me, it's like a good-looking tranny. Like, why can I say that?
No, I wasn't even going anything about that.
Can I say that?
I don't care what you say, bro.
Can I say that?
I don't care. But like, this is. I wasn't even going that way. I was going saying like, I'm trying to equate the two of like, okay, I can recognize an attractive or good-looking person regardless of what they have, you know. And I mean, like, I'd be a damn lie if like I've never looked at a picture and then been like, this female's attractive, right? This woman's attractive, right? I've been like, yeah, I'm attracted to her. And then they're like, oh, well, you know, that's a man, right? And it's like a lot of people would take that and be like, you know, like what the fuck? They immediately get like crazy offended or some shit where I'm like, okay, I'm not attracted to anymore, but they're good looking. It's attractive.
You're just looking at the simple feminism. That's exactly the thing, though, but you're also attracted to feminism. So like,
exactly,
I feel like a man could dress up, be a tranny, right? And not look feminine and still be a good looking tranny. But it's like we see feminine, we're like, oh, you're a good-looking feminine tranny. You know what I mean?
And I think what the big problem is with like when people do that, they can't even go as far as to recognize that because that automatically makes them gay or homosexual in some type of way. And it's like, look, you know, it's like me. I'm a comfortable dude. I don't care. I can look at men and be like, okay, that's an attractive male. That's a good-looking dude. You know, I can see things like that. Like you can look at like I'm trying to think. You know, you can look at like someone like Liam Hemsworth or something and be like, all right, that's a good looking dude. But that doesn't make me attracted to men, you know?
No,
you know
totally,
what I mean? Exactly.
Totally.
You know, when people take it that far and they're like, oh, what, you're gay. It's like,
right.
You're soft.
The way that conversation was playing out was like, if I could look at a man and be like, almost like that would be a good tranny, you know, like you know what I mean? Like now you're looking at the man and you're like, you're trying to find like your own kind of, how would I find this sexy type of thing to it, you know, where to me, it's usually, I just dismiss it so quickly, where I would be more open if they already were a tranny, you know what I mean? Then I would be like, oh, now I see, like, yeah, their face looks a lot like a woman's when they put makeup on. Of course, it plays into it. But it's hard for me to ever look at a man and be like, that's an attractive face to me. It's more of like, I see how someone finds that attractive.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not that it's attractive to me, you know? That in itself, you know, is, you know, when you're attracted to men, homosexual. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like, you can look at someone and be like, I'm saying what you're saying.
But we were talking about like a feminine face, you know? So it's like, this is more than being attracted to men. Like at this point, you're saying like, this man has a feminine face. Like that's what we were talking about that day. Of like someone having a feminine face and you being like, that's attracted to you because they have the same similarities as a woman. And that's why I kept saying, I was like, but at the end of the day, it's like, they're not even dressing up like a tranny because you know they have a dick.
No,
it's hard to think like
I don't quite exactly remember, but I definitely don't think I was along the lines of being like, oh, that's an attractive dude with feminine features. I don't think, or like that's what I'm attracted to. I don't think I ever came across something like that or saying that.
You have to rewatch the thing. I'm not saying that you
Yeah.
necessarily said this. I'm not trying to put something on you. I'm saying like that's the kind of convo that I was getting from that is like you guys were saying that like some men you can look at and be like,
no,
it has the same similarities as a woman's face. So
no,
therefore I can
I definitely don't.
And that's why I kept
but what
like, that's why I kept saying over and over, I was like, but it's if they're dressing up like a guy, like they have a dick, it's hard for you to ever even.
Yeah, see, this is not how at all I'm remembering the conversation or even my stance on this conversation, bro. I'm about to definitely watch that one back.
That's how it all started. That's why I just kept saying, but it has a dick. Like he has a dick. So it's hard for me to even
this is my thing. I think if anything, I was saying it like how we were just talking about, saying like I could see why that's
probably
attractive.
what you were trying to say.
That's why attractive. I think what I was trying to do in that instance was, kind of like, I agree with what Tyler was saying, but like that's how I was equating it. Like, I could see why that's attractive. I'm not attracted to that. But I could see why someone would find that attractive,
right?
Or even be attractive to the feminine qualities in that.
I got you.
There are even some gay men who are into feminine looking dudes. That's just their thing. But no, not at all.
Yeah, there's dudes that want you with tits and a dick.
Yeah,
but that's what I want to say. But it's funny how I always do the what would you do type of moments. I love those. And I love putting people in gay positions because they're so uncomfortable. I always put people in a position of like, bro, you're at the club, you pick up this badass bitch. You go back and crack her. In the morning, you wake up, you see she got a dick. Like, what are you going to do? And most people are like, I'm going to fucking beat her ass.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you were going to say something else.
And you're like,
fight her. I'm going to fight him.
Yeah,
that guy,
right. But they usually don't switch. Like, I'm gonna beat her ass. That's the funny thing about it. It's like because they cracked. Exactly. So they want to keep it feminine in their head. They're so scared to even let go of shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
But like, I'm a fuck. I'm like, you're a fucking mom. I'm like, but they were thick, and it was good, and you did it.
Yeah. But like, so
they thick, boy.
My whole stance in that situation would be, I would definitely be upset because I don't think that person was like upfront with me. I think essentially they lied to you at that moment, Whereas, if given the opportunity before you even get that moment, if you're at the club and you're about to leave and you're like, look, by the way, I am transgender. I'd be like, okay.
You think someone should have to legally?
I mean, because it's not necessarily, rape in any sense or anything, but I don't think law should be brought into it, but I think that should be like, if you're a good person, that's what you would do,
Well, I guess that's pretty much how they care. But for me, I don't agree with that. I've always been on the stance of like, if someone got you, they got you, brother. Something led you down that road. If you're a sober man, you're taking a woman home, you've already rubbed up on this lady and everything. There's no reason you didn't come and sense that there was a dick, brother. Come on, dog. Like, come on, bro. Unless you're saying you're blacked out drunk. In that case, you don't even remember it. So now what are you fighting over?
Right.
You know what I mean? But I've always been the case if they get you, they get you.
But I mean, that's like, that's kind of the instance where I was, where it was like, if at any point I didn't recognize or anything, or for any other circumstance or reason, I'm going to be upset because they lied to me. They weren't upfront with me. Like for me,
about what though? Like,
well, I mean, like you get as a man, but listen, let me talk.
That like transgender.
But exactly, but that's where you should probably look for someone like that and give someone an opportunity for a choice to be like, well, why would you want to be with this person if they don't like transgender people?
We're not trying to be with no one. We're talking about one night stands.
Exactly, but that's something I think you should be upfront about, because there could be a lot of men who would be like, all right. I mean, that's not me.
If you want to walk out, I'm not saying it's not risky. All I'm saying is the people that are mad, bro, it's you.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's you. You're the one that led down that road. If you're telling me you had no... Listen, that's what I'm saying. If you're a man and you went a whole night with a woman, took her home, slept with her, everything, and you had no inclination the whole night that she was a man, then she wasn't. It's simple as that. That's simple as that. To me, no trainee's ever going to be able to get me, because if it comes to the point, of course, unless I'm blacked out and you're like, here it is. But for the most part, you're always going to get feminine. You're good. Even when you're twerking for a couple hours, like you're going to do some reach arounds. You're going to get an inclination that this probably isn't what I think it is, which is 100%. Which I've seen before. I've seen happen to a close friend of mine, live right in front of me, and you can't tell until you can tell.
Right.
You can't tell like this, but then you start dancing and you can tell.
100%, but that's not what you asked me. It's as if you woke up next to a transgender woman. That's pretty much what you asked me.
Well, I didn't ask you. I was telling you what people say. I was telling you how I put people in. But I didn't ask you.
Like I mean, I'm not gonna fight nobody, of course. I'm not gonna assault nobody over this. But I'm just on the stance that if you're gonna do something like that, you should be open and upfront with someone. Give them the opportunity to make the decision rather than you make the decision for them.
All right. Well, if you were blacked out and they're like, "I told you," and you still came. Like, then what?
Well, then I guess, I'm in a blacked out, rampage. I slept with a trainee. I mean, it's like, what do you want? What do you want?
I wanted to hear
What do we say on that one?
I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear that.
He's back in the corners. This is what he wants.
I wanted to hear that in a sentence. I'm just like,
all right, look.
Whoops.
All right, look. It's like, all right, well, how did I get Steve to say it? Well, she tells you blacked out, whatever. You still did it. I guess I banged this tranny.
Because you think, I don't know. Listen. What I'm gonna say is the way that I feel is if you have a one night stand from a club and both of you remember the whole thing, that don't make sense. That don't make no sense to me. A one night stand, it's a spur of the moment type of thing. Like one of you should have been a little furred or something. So now if you're saying okay, well we were sober the whole night. All right, well, now you're sober with a tranny.
Well, you made a decision to go home with a tranny.
Now you're sober with a tranny and you didn't know. In which case is it the tranny's fault to me? None. That's my thing. Okay, maybe you should have been upfront with me. But at the end of the day, at what point did that tranny really do something of harm? It was you, dude. You're the problem.
See, I just don't agree with that because it's like, all right, let's just say for whatever, of course, if they still continue to pursue this woman, even without her saying anything, cool, you made that conscious decision to do that, okay? Now let's just say that you guys met on Tinder. Let's say you guys met on Tinder or some shit. You meet up, you have a date, there's no way to tell. You end up going on a couple of dates and you eventually start moving to sleep with each other. You realize it's a transgender woman. Don't you feel in some sense that at that point, it's like, well, you weren't upfront with me. You made a judgment call thinking that I probably wasn't cool with this, or otherwise you would have said something and continued to pursue it anyway. That's where it's kind of like,
I don't feel one drop like that, Steve. I don't feel one drop like that, bro. There's people that have a million things like that. There's people with a million things just like that. Not everyone goes on their first date and admits to something like that or says something like that. If you called that tranny for a third date, dude, you like that tranny, bro. What is it about the pussy at this point? You like that tranny? I'm sorry to tell you guys.
Listen. It's not even about that at that moment. It's about the fact you're not being upfront with me. You're not lying. You pretty much kind of playing this facade of lying about it.
I get what you're saying.
Like I said, you made a judgment call on my person, on my behalf.
So let's just say
you made a decision on my behalf.
So on that third date, we're on our third date. You called me right for a second and a third date, and on the third date, I'm like, hey, I'm a tranny, and you're not cool with it.
For some people, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, let's just go right. But let's just say and you're not, and now I told you I'm a tranny, you're not cool with it. That person that leaves, I guarantee you is thinking about that. That person that leaves is jerking off to that tranny one later in the week. I guarantee it, bro, because you really like that person. So it wasn't about that. Of course, you don't want to be lied to. I'm a dude too. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want someone like that.
Even for some people,
say if she had 6 nipples. I'm not into that. That would turn me off. I would say I can't be with someone with 6 nipples, most likely. But should they tell me that on the first date? No. It's down that line on anything, bro.
Yeah, but 6 nipples.
I can't have children.
But 6
nipples on the first date?
6 nipples to being biologically born as a man is completely different. For a lot of people, that's a straight up deal breaker. 100%. it's like, especially if you're pursuing something long term.
That a transgender doesn't have to be biologically born as a man, right? You can get a surgery, right? And then that would make you transgender.
No, I mean, like I said, it depends on how you identify. If you're technically I mean, like I don't know the line,
Right? It's like I think
it's like
chromosome.
There's for people. No, people are born as either men or women, and then go through something. And I don't like.
But what I'm saying
know.
is like you're born as you have an XX chromosome, but then you're born with a different genitalia. Like I think that your chemical, from what I know, your chemical makeup is woman.
Well,
if your misform is in genitalia.
If you have one specific genitalia, you either have one of two sets of chromosomes. There's no.
Okay, so that doesn't happen.
No.
So you can't have a different chromosome and your genitalia grow different.
If you're born as a male, I don't know the exact chromosome pair up for men, but if you're born as a male with male genitalia, you have that chromosome set. You're born as a woman with female genitalia. That's it. You have that. Now, but
I thought there was something that could happen, like in the development process. Like you still are that. That's why people like feel like that on the inside. But during the development process, it grows as something as the opposite. Or some people have big clits, like things like that. Like I thought that was what that was. It's just like a disformation.
No, that is. I don't know the exact term, but I think it's hermaphrodite. Where you're born with both or some mixture of the two.
Yeah, that's both.
That's completely different from being like transgender, where you're
right,
born with
that.
a gift. So I think with things like that, it comes down to, again, I don't know, but I think it's something that comes down to like gender dysphoria. You just don't feel like the gender that you are or that you're assigned to, and then go out to be the other gender or be that person. No matter what you do, if you get a sex change, your chromosome pair doesn't ever change.
No, not
exactly. So so it's like I mean maybe that's a part of it, but I think most trans individuals find themselves being born as one, but wanting or feeling they need to be the other, and take steps to become that fully.
Right. So most of them get the surgery, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Then are actually.
Yeah, but like their chromosome pairs are always the same from they're born.
Right. Yeah, but I was just trying to say, like, how are they? If they're getting the surgery, then to me that's different because you said born with it. So that's what I was saying. Like I think most of them are getting the surgery. Then that's a different kind of explanation right there too, than to say I was born like. If you're born like this, you are who you are. You know what I mean? Like you could have tits and a dick. That does nothing to do with personal choice.
I don't think people are naturally born that way.
So that does not happen.
From what I understand, I don't believe so. I mean, maybe there's been certain cases, but I would say in the majority of trans individuals' cases out here, that is not the case.
See, I thought that they were born like that, but then they have like high levels of like estrogen or low levels of testosterone, and then that's how they end up growing larger tits than they would, or then
they may grow.
We don't have enough on this.
They may grow larger breasts, but I understand they don't form female breasts. They don't form female breasts.
Right, they're not going to milk.
They might have bigger pecs or tits than what they normally do because they're. And I mean, some men do have that high estrogen, which revolves in a lot, but the estrogen level, and I mean the varying levels in men and women being higher or low, affects the individual greatly. So when it comes down to stuff like that, definitely affects you in the long run. It affects your development. It affects your growth. However you may go.
That's
from
what
there.
They take, right? Yeah, that's what they end up taking.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some men who are born with higher estrogen.
Well, obviously, we're not. That is when we are not familiar enough with the subject. So on that, but all I'm saying is, I'll leave it on this: is that if a transsexual, transgender person got you, you need to start looking more at yourself than that person. That's what I would say. And I'm not trying to say you're gay, dude. You need to realize that. All I'm saying is you need to start thinking of like, there's a reason that you went on that third date. There's a reason that you went.
See, the way you're saying it's like as if I did this. I've never done this.
I'm saying like
the way you're saying it.
I'm saying like that person. Yeah, you know how to do it. Well, I'm saying like that person. Like there's a reason that happened. And I can tell you it wasn't. They're the world's greatest manipulator, and you're the most naive in the world. I doubt that happens at all. And I'd even go on a limb to tell you, this is one of those ones that I don't know, but most of the guys I know, they would if they were at the transgender woman's house and they told him at the house,
they're still smashing.
They can at least get a neck. Even in the cab, they're still gonna go get neck or something. Like I don't believe people that you're like you're drunk, you're in there already. You thought this woman was attractive. Now you're just gonna leave. Now all of a sudden you're gonna leave. I don't think so. I don't believe that with these dirty motherfuckers that I know.
Exactly.
I don't believe it, bro.
So I guess one of my final thoughts on the situation where I'm on the opposite end. I think if you're doing something like that, you be upfront with people as you approach them or pursue them, and
it's your own risk.
Whatever,
It's your own risk because, like we said, most people say they're going to get violent. So I'm saying I'm not recommending anyone do that. I think that everyone should do what you're doing just to avoid murder, literally. Of anything like that happening. But
people are intolerant.
I'm just saying, like, if someone gets you. If someone gets you,
you
bro, you got, bro. It's not their fault.
Just move on.
What I mean?
Evaluate your life. Maybe you like it, and like that's one thing that gets me.
Even if you don't like it,
yeah, exactly.
You're just like, okay, but I'm not gonna beat you up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? At what point does it get to I'm gonna beat you up?
Yeah.
Well, now you're just mad. You're just mad at what? You know what I mean? Like you don't really.
I think you're mad at yourself.
Yeah, because you can be like, well, as soon as I've seen it, I'm gonna fucking leave, and I'm never gonna talk about it again. Like that could be something, right? Or you're like, man, I'm a fucking. You could say some petty shit. Key this motherfucking car, set the house on fire, whatever. But like when you're like, I'm gonna fuck her up. You know what I mean? Like it's just like who are you mad at, dog? Who are you mad at?
Exactly.
But on a side note, 5 years later, Eric Garner's cop gets fired.
Well, he was just. I think he was just let off of the whole thing today, and then immediately got fired. I believe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one.
No, for what I've seen, it's after 5 years, he got fired for Eric Garner strangling.
Yeah, he got fired. Yeah, but like I said, I think he was just like the case was just dismissed, from the whole thing, and then he immediately gets fired. I'm like, why didn't he get fired to begin with? I was like, why is he still technically?
What I'm saying is I understand why people don't get fired right away because there's like this litigation thing and shit. That's what I'm saying. 5 years.
5 years.
And that's one of like the most obvious ones ever, dude. Like, I've always felt so bad. There's a couple of them where you're just like, what in the fuck, bro? That is like the dirtiest of the dirt, and that was one of them where it's just like, I can only imagine being that person. You know how helpless it feels when you can't use your arms and legs and someone's choking you, bro. It's a terrifying feeling, man.
Sucks.
And you're sitting there telling them,
had your arms and legs, getting choked, not being able to breathe is still in itself.
Yeah, but a guy like that, you give him his arms and legs, I bet you wouldn't be choking him.
Right.
Simple as that. The fact that he couldn't. That's what did it, and they just didn't believe him, and that's an illegal. You cannot do a bulldog choke to fucking people. That's illegal. That's straight up an illegal police tactic.
You cannot do that.
And you're sitting there to this person, and Eric Garner died because he was selling cigarettes, because he was selling loose cigarettes.
Yeah.
Great job, police. Great fucking job.
You got
A+ police work. Hey, come on, dude. Like, regardless let's say he went there every day and sold crack. Well, you gotta catch him with crack, bro. It don't work like that.
You think he deserves to be charged?
That man deserves a death penalty, in my opinion. Honestly. When I see a man like that, like, I'm like, you're a gentleman that, because of course, I like to try and take the video for what the video is. And like in that instance, Eric Garner is no longer a threat at all.
Right.
He's completely apprehended. You've got, I think it was 5, maybe 6 people, backup coming.
Stop choking him now.
Literally, all you got to do is you can put your knee in his face if you want.
Right.
Not saying you should, but you could do that if you want.
Stop choking the guy.
Everybody's choked somebody, you know what I mean, with their arm. The pressure you're applying, right? You know it. When you can get a nice little grab where like somebody ain't gonna try and get out of that. Exactly. You can loosen up where you're like, I just got my hand around your neck. I ain't choking you.
Yeah.
And then it's where you tighten up, right? Where you tighten up and you feel their neck right here and you're squeezing as hard as you can.
Right.
That guy that was doing that, Steve, was going for the kill, brother. That you don't accidentally do that, bro. You don't accidentally choke someone like that. That's a killer choke. And for you to kill someone with it, that means you held it after he was passed out. This man was 300 pounds, it looks like. You're going to tell me you didn't feel dead weight? You can see dead weight through a TV watching a fight, bro. That guy, he dead weighted, and that man held that choke. Sick shit. I don't care. I don't care if you were scared for your life.
And this is also someone who has good eyes on the situation around him. You know, it's not like he's in some obscure, like his vision is obscured in any way.
Right,
you know? He can see the other officers near him. He can see
they're the ones dealing with the problems.
You know,
you're free on his back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I always go like that.
And it's like even if like you wanted to hold that, like you move up, make it a headlock where you're holding his head. If you want to control the head, you want to control the head and neck,
or
hold his head.
Put your knee on his head if that's really what you want to be doing.
Exactly,
put your knee on his head. You don't choke a man while he has no ability. Because when you can see, like, if you're choking someone, right, and they got their arms and they're still like this, you're not actually choking them.
Is it?
Anyone who's actually getting choked, as soon as you're getting choked, you're going to bring your arms in like this. So if that man had his arms, he would have been like this, fighting that choke.
Is it true the guy who recorded also at the jail?
I believe they were trying to. That was a big documentary. I think that he got charged, but I don't think he ever.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, weird, right?
Yeah, weird, iffy.
So weird. Bro, I've always said, though, I don't care what nobody says, bro. And this is the one that people can call me out on. On that video, in that instance, I said since the time it came out, if I seen someone screaming for air like that and someone was choking them and you seen that's an official choke, bro, I'll cave your eye socket in from the side and dip off. I swear to God I will. Maybe not hit you, but I'll push you over. I'm going to do something.
Try and get them.
I am not the guy that will record. Because anybody got my word on that. If I see some shit like that, I'm going to come over and try and help. Obviously, I'm not going to interfere in fucking random-ass situations and be like, there's something going on. But if the instance came where you see someone's crying out for breath, it's funny how when it's a man like that, it's okay, right? But if that was a 55-year-old woman, right? Or if that was a 17-year-old kid, like, it would be the way bigger deal. It'd be the biggest deal in the world. But it's like, because he's this big man, it's like, oh, they were scared and they were doing what they had to do.
Right.
It's crazy. It's just like, that choke he applied on that man would have felt the same way on a 17-year-old, would have felt the same way on a 55-year-old woman. You would have felt it and you would have kept squeezing, bro. Killed that man.
You can feel someone going out. You feel someone going out.
Sick to death, bro. That is absolutely the worst one. And I think that, here's where I was going with that, is that I think everyone that watched something should happen. I'm not going to say everyone should go to jail, right? Because then I'm just contradicting the entire everything. Right. But something should happen. It should make a website or something of people who watch crimes happen. Every crime video where something like that happened. Let's get try and recognize and try and fucking, what do they call it? Whitelist or some shit like white light. Gaslight. That's what it's called. Gaslight. Gaslight those people. Bring up their names, who they are, where they work at. All these people watch that happen to Eric Garner. What's up, man? You guys. So, like, there comes a point.
Off the jump, everyone's not you.
Obviously, that's not the best idea, Steve. But you get what I'm saying down the line of that, of like, do something about it. Well, you guys are in that neighborhood. Who's seen that? You guys are outraged by that? Go to those people. Y'all are all out here. Why didn't none of y'all do nothing? Why is there's no questions asked? You know what I mean? It reminds me of the same thing of like when people come to me and they're like, oh, this person said this about this person. And I go, well, what was that person doing when that person you're talking about was talking shit about you? They were listening. And then he just came back and told you that shit. Who's at wrong here? Them, for watching and listening to that shit that happened. They don't say nothing when it happens. But when it's over, now we're outraged. Now we want to spread this information of what they did to this person. But when something is happening in front of people, you want to bring out fucking phones and this bullshit ass shit. Whatever happened to a grown man screaming, it's a certain kind of squeal. You know when something is serious, man.
Yeah, but you're asking people to like interfere with, police.
I am
asking
Steve.
People to.
I am Steve.
Because I
am. I know. I know it's not the best thing to say. I know people don't want to do it. I know how stupid it sounds. A man died. What else can I say? They're murdering someone in front of you. What else is left to be said, bro? Yeah, it's in the wrong. It's crazy.
Yeah, I get you.
Stop it, man.
I get you on that, bro. 100%.
But you're sitting there watching it happen and then act like nothing. It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. Like, it's just crazy how that. There's times where you don't say nothing. Like the other one that disgustes me. Remember when the guy was shot in the park by the cop who did the crouch position? The dude's filming from the bushes,
right?
And the cop goes and gets a gun and plants it right next to that guy's dead body. That man randomly seen a police chase. He ran into the bushes and was secretly recording that. That is what it is, brother. Shit happens. Like, that's happening fast. I'm not saying go over there and die too so he can plant 2 guns on you. There was a group of people. It's broad daylight. You're in the middle of the street. Like, I had to rewatch the video, but I don't even remember nobody going off, outrage. If I'm not hitting you, I'm right there next to you. He can't breathe. He can't, you know what I mean? Like,
right, exactly.
I don't understand, bro. It doesn't come to the point of, what? Oh, they're going to lock me up. Or, oh, they might even kill me. Where is the humanity in things? So, I'm not going to watch that happen.
You're saying right there, but that is in people's minds. That's people's minds operating, not in, in any type of inferior way, or not that they're like bad people, whatever. They're scared. They're fearing for their own safety.
I get it, but I'm saying that's the problem. I understand it, but that's the problem, right? Because Steve, if that was your sister, you would have wanted me to stop in there and stop it. If that was them, all them people just watch, if it was their cousin, their brother, their dad, their whatever, they'd have been crying that nobody did nothing. But when they're right there and they don't know that person, or that's not someone like them or someone they're close to, and it happens, it's this big ass outrage of, oh, well, I couldn't have did nothing. But if that was your family member, what would you have did? If they had your grandmom like that, would you have just not did nothing?
Yeah, right.
You would have did something.
Yeah, I'm not here arguing against you, bro. Like I'm here telling you, like, you're putting a lot on people to overcome.
I am.
Ridiculous amounts of fear, even for us, or
why
even become their abilities.
Why wasn't there one person, Steve? Why wasn't there one person that just came up and said, "Loosen up that choke. He can't breathe." Something.
I think there's plenty of people shouting that. There's plenty of people.
I didn't see no one that came up.
That's why a crowd.
You know what I mean?
But you're also looking at it like, there's cops in between them and the people on the ground.
Not at first. Not at first.
The
video escalates. More cops show up.
Yeah, exactly. And
there's a circle of people.
Yeah, and then when you realize that this guy is not breathing, that's when those cops are already surround him. And
I'm not sitting here saying those people are all in the wrong, right? I'm saying let's learn from that one, right?
You also just had to come out and put those people out there, put those names out there. Like, I don't think it's reasonable to then shame people.
Once again, you're targeting just one simple example I gave while I was trying to figure something out. So I told you that's not necessarily the line I would go.
But that's a big thing. You're like, okay, well then you don't do anything. So then here you are. You would put you out there.
We could do it in the neighborhood, right? If that happened in my neighborhood, why can't you do that in your neighborhood? When everyboody telling that story,
no one's saying don't do that.
Why can't you
don't do that?
That's the same thing. That's the same exact thing. That's the same exact thing.
No one, like, listen. No one's saying to not go do that, but like, I don't think it's right. I'm not telling you no, don't go do that, but I think that's wrong. Don't sit and shame people. For doing particular things. I'm not gonna sit there.
I said, obviously that wasn't the best idea.
I'm not gonna sit there and be like, okay, look, let's say that does something like that. Does that happen? I'm not sitting there like, oh, Newell. Of course I want you to something, but I'm not sitting there like, why didn't you do anything, Newell? I'm not sitting there like that. I as a person can understand why people don't necessarily go and do that. I think I'm the same person to go and do that, do what you're talking about, but that's not everybody.
It happens, right? It happens. But the fact is, it happened. Then it happened again. Then it happened again. Then it happened again. Then it happened again. And all you motherfucker got is videos. I've never seen anyone on video stop it. Not one fucking time.
Oh yeah, no, I get you, bro. I get you.
Everyone's watching and recording, bro. I don't give a fuck what the excuse is, man. I really don't. If it happened before, yeah, those people in Air Garner, maybe they're not the best case scenario. And what I said obviously isn't the best idea. But you go to those people and you go, okay, with that, we fucked up. We fucked up once. Now we learn from it. We adjust from it. As a people go, if something like that happens, I'm going to do maybe not what I said, right? But something in my power to try and help. And maybe I still fail. But I'm not the person that's fucking recording. I can tell you that. I'm not the fucking recorder.
That's great, bro. That's great. 100%. I'd like to think I'm along the same lines of doing something like that,
But you're taking it like that. When I'm saying it like that, I don't mean me and you are a special type of superhero civilians. I don't mean that. I'm saying that's how people should be. It should be treat that like if it was your family member getting choked. What would you do? You would have did something. Oh,
I feel you, bro.
But it's a stranger, so now you don't care. It doesn't make sense.
I don't think it's necessary. People don't care, Like I said, you don't
have, but you don't got that same reaction. You don't got that same reaction as if it was your mom. That's for sure.
100%.
And when it comes to death,
and it's a shame that it's like that.
You gotta have it.
It really is. I mean, we're asking people to stop being people right then and there.
We're asking people to start being people. That's what we're asking for. We're asking people to start being people and stop being robots. That's what they are. That's what I'm asking you to stop being, a fucking robot who goes, where's my thing? I'm going to show the world. I'm going to get so many likes and shares on this, and I can't wait to show everybody in the world. Oh, and then there's 5 people recorded. Now you all got a video of it when you got different angles. What the fuck, man? Go out there, be a person, be a human, have a heart. You see someone else is getting taken advantage of, fucking do something. I'm not asking you to be fucking Superman. Just do something. Say something. Get up close. That whole circle could have came up closer. That's how I'd imagine it right now. Perfect case scenario, obviously not always. Perfect scenario.
Right.
That happens out front right now. Straight up, Jeff's right there. He's with somebody. I got you. We come up there. 4 people are right there. 4 grown men are right there. Something's going on. What's up, man? We got to figure it out, right? If something, this don't look right, Steve?
Right.
This don't look right, right, guys?
100%.
Let's start figuring out something out. This is right here. This is our community. This is our problem too, man. It wasn't Eric Garner's problem.
But like you said earlier, like you're asking people to be people, but I think quite the opposite. That's not what people are, you know? That's what good people are.
That's what they.
But that's not what
that's
people
what they
are
made
you know?
to be. I think deep down that's what people are. I do. I believe in the people.
If for me it was that case, you'd have that 1 in 20. You'd have that 1 in 30 in that crowd. You know, but you don't.
The thing is, I think that those numbers have even been sucked down. I think naturally you only have 5 out of 20 of those, and then you go, well, one of them's gonna pull out their phone now. One of them's gonna keep walking. Now you got 3 of them. One of them's gonna say, not my problem. Now you got 2 people that care. Now someone, you know what I mean? It comes down to like that. I feel like that those numbers have even been lower, and you're just more disconnect from that person, where you just go, I feel bad for him, but it ain't me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is a fucked up mentality, man, where I'm not saying help every single person that has a police confrontation.
No, but if someone's dying, help them.
Eric Garner was screaming out for air. It's just, you know what I mean? It's a special kind of scream that a man does when he's actually in. You don't hear it as a grown man. You don't hear grown men sound like that.
Yeah.
When someone does, there's actual trouble. That should be handled as such. It just pisses me off, man. It really pisses me off, man. I've always felt like that with like bullies. Like it's the same thing with bullies. Like when a bully's beating up some random stranger, everybody can record. Even if you're the person he bullies, he bullied the day before. Right. Now you're the guy that can record. You just go, you want to be such a clown to where you just laugh with him. So now he don't bully you no more. Just the biggest fucking coward that walks the earth. Where all them people could just fucking get some goddamn heart.
And it happens every day, you know, where people allow things like that to go down in the community, whether it be a school or the neighborhood, whatever it might be.
And I'm also guilty.
Online,
I've done it before too. I'm not saying I'm superhero here.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I ain't never watched somebody get killed and not did nothing. I can tell you that.
Right.
And that'll never happen. Unless he, deserves it. It's not going to be some random ass scenario like, I don't know, man. I get sparked up about that Eric Gardner one, man. Like I said, that was one that really hit me home, dog. Where I'm just tough, that one really bothered me because I'm just like, you guys know this guy. He's out here every day out front of this corner store, man. He sells Lucy's. Like, you know him as the big Lucy guy. Like, what are you guys? Like, what are you, a neighborhood at all? Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like that same, whatever neighborhood that happened in, someone could get shot on that same block this weekend, and they'll still be saying justice for Eric Gardner. You won't even know that person's name. It's just like, it's a hype machine type of thing, man. It's not even about the human anymore. It's just about the hype behind it of like, just almost, I feel like they almost subliminally, like all them people there, like embraced it almost. They're like, we're going to get another cop doing something wrong. And he just went to the super extreme.
I would agree with you on that. That's the mentality that's there. It's where it's like, it's like,
it was like, do something. But then he did the utmost.
Exactly.
And took a life.
Yeah. And walked free from it. Walked free from it.
That's one that really bothers me, man. And then the guy who filmed the cop that planted the gun on the guy he killed, that dude, he should have got like a 4-year free degree to art school or some shit.
You see how one video the cop in Florida who was planting all them drugs?
Yeah. In the Mentos case and shit.
And he kept they kept showing the body cam footage when it was like, hey, man, I'm going to tell you something right now, man. I want you to be honest with me. This is field tested for meth. And you just see him in front of you. The dude just like, like, oh, come on, man, that shit. It's like you see genuine people genuinely that don't have this shit. Like, I think someone lost their kids because of that.
The woman too, remember?
Yeah,
she's the woman too. She's like,
on the phone.
That ain't, and you could tell, like, that
Yeah.
was not fucking her. She straight
Yeah.
up saying it. Like, I don't know who the fuck. Like, like, there's something about a genuineness between people
Exactly.
of, like, when someone's lying.
Yeah.
Usually.
And that guy still was able to be like, "No, you're going to fucking jail, putting you away."
And it just doesn't make, what are you trying to do, bro? Have the highest numbers in
know.
Florida?
I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I find all the
the
meth.
And it's like, well, if you fake them, then what does it really mean? Like nothing at the end of the day.
You know, it's
And
like,
now you have nothing. Now you're going to jail.
I know you don't like my style, bro, but death penalty. It's just one of them things where you go, what? It's like, you were literally, what's the one thing we all got? Time. You were taking people's time away for some shit that you made up as a narcissistic, self-conscious. Well, I don't need those on my planet. That's for fucking sure. You think that's a major charge, bro. The one he puts the bowl in there and everything.
Yeah.
He puts a bowl, the dog, the fucking
bro.
stem, everything you need.
All on camera, It's
all on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, that can, if somebody already had a past drug, accident, a couple of them be it, trying to get their life straight, and then you smack that on them, they go, there's people that could do 10 years for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Straight up.
There was someone who lost their kids because of shit like that. And it's just like,
It's
wow.
Insane,
apart families,
bro.
you
You want to talk about breaking somebody mentally? This person's trying to do right.
And you just frame the shit out of them.
And you know what? You know what that cop's mentality is? Well, they were guilty another time. I bet they did have meth on them another time. This is the one you got away with.
I think
the only reason I say that is because I've heard a cop say that before.
Yeah.
On camera, on cops. That's exactly what he said. We're gonna he's like, we're gonna get him on this one because we couldn't get him on the other one. Like, basically, basically what they were saying. Like, we got to figure out something because it's
a fucked up mentality.
Yeah.
Like, what are you fucking doing? What the fuck?
Like,
where's your mind at?
That's like saying someone's a murderer and having no evidence. Might have murdered that person, but gotta have something, brother.
Just trying to put a gun in someone's hand for what,
Gotta have something, brother.
Gotta fake a witness.
Something that's really weird that I was learning is that, like, after mass extinctions, that wouldn't make sense, but like mass genocides of gender, that is what I guess it's like a 55-45 or a 52-48, something along the lines of that, something real close. That's what flips that gender to the human cycle of being born. So they were doing like these research of showing like after war, bro.
Yeah.
All boys.
Yeah.
It's like 62% boys or some shit like that. And that happened like 5 times. That is fucking weird.
Yeah, oh man, that's funny you mentioned. I was just watching that shit. Yeah.
That tangles me into how, like, I was learning that like if you're like in a certain area, like let's say like in this area, like you don't get enough vitamin C and you're a baby basically, and like this area, this region doesn't produce enough of that. The moms, I don't know if it's necessarily vitamin C, but your mom's milk will give you the things that you need specifically that you're not getting. Their breast milk will adapt basically to give you as also certain bacteria that babies come into contact with. It's almost an established connection of they give you basically the proper nutrients or whatever it would be to combat that bacteria.
That's interesting.
I know.
I mean, like, it's also like, man,
it's like really shows you like there's a connection between baby and tit.
Would it be mother and baby?
That's baby and tit. There's something about the tit, like I understand, like when a baby cries, like the mom's tits will milk.
Well, it's the women, it's not the tits, bro. It's like,
yeah, but it's like something about. I'm saying, but the women don't always have that.
Tits don't hear it.
No, I'm saying once they stop producing milk, you don't hear about things like that. It's something with the magic milk.
Well, it's also like you also have to be around babies in infancy for you to like kind of like you like, because like like if you're around babies all the time, I think you can have higher chances of lactating because you're around that type of sensory, and makes you as a woman build up more, and because you're thinking about
if you're already had a baby, though. That's what you're saying. You're saying you're already supposed to produce milk, though.
Well, no, like I would say like I believe women who work in as like midwives and help deliver a lot of babies and whatever, who are working like the pregnancy ward or baby wards. Like when they're around babies, even without being pregnant or ever being pregnant, your body starts producing those things because you hear babies crying, type of deal.
Produces milk?
Yeah, well, yeah. No, women can lactate outside of pregnancy.
I've heard of it before, but I never thought it was because of like a reason. I thought it was just like a random thing that could happen.
Like I said, this is with being around a lot of babies a lot of time. It's lower when like you don't interact with babies a lot. You're not around babies at all.
You.
Your mind's not thinking it's around babies.
Ain't it?
Yeah.
That was like in that same thing of like baby, basically like that same things that the milk is giving that baby is what a kangaroo's pouch gives their baby.
Yeah, pouches are weird, bro.
Yeah, well, it's like laced
they
with
go
like
inside.
vitamin B and A and C and shit.
It's literally like an opening in the body right there. Well, like it's literally
I was getting to the
internal.
Bottom of it. And it's because they can only have 2-month pregnancies. They literally can't carry a baby for longer. So every baby kangaroo is premature.
Yeah, and it goes back in the pouch.
Yep, and that's where it lives.
Interesting.
It's next 6 to 8 weeks.
That's some interesting shit.
Yeah.
See, then like for me, like it's all
that's safe for watch later consumer.
Like for me, this comes all the way back around. It's like, you know, there's aliens out there, bro.
Yeah.
Look at our fucking planet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we literally established that octopus have alien DNA. Like we cannot trace that DNA on Earth.
Yeah, it's funny because I was geeking about that today. I was like, how when people said like, well, I wish I had like 8 arms or something so you could do more.
But
like I was thinking today, I was just sitting, I was like, like the biggest thing people don't understand is like if you have octopus arms, regrow them back. Like if you get them cut off, like that's cooler. That's cooler than being able to do more things with them.
Yeah.
If I lose an arm, it'll come back. It's great.
It would still be traumatizing though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like even if you didn't feel the pain, every time you lost an arm, you'd be like, ah!
Yeah, exactly. It's like you'd definitely be horrified at losing any type of arm. I'm sure it still hurts.
Yeah, well, like a Wolverine, you know,
but
like
you just grow back here. It's like, finally, that'd be cooler than doing more things with them. Like I would not become a more efficient worker with 8 arms.
There is some things that would definitely change about the human body that don't make sense. Like I've always felt like noses are super fragile. Like they just shouldn't be there, if anything, or they should just be smaller.
Yeah, noses are weird. Like, why don't you just have slits right there? We're just like
I was just thinking that, but then I was like, maybe we get less smell, but we kind of don't need the smell that we used to need, but you still kind of want that.
I think it has a lot to do with like us eating through our same eating through the same part of the mouth that you use for breathing. I think that becomes into it where like when you eat, you need another kind of also helps with drinking because like without that negative air pressure coming out here, you can't really swallow all
this
the
is
pressure.
True. This is true.
So
I've always talked about though how like it's funny how like humans are made like beautiful though.
Yeah.
Like no matter even ugly people, quote unquote, like we still have like eyes are perfect right there, nose, mouth, like we're symmetric as fuck.
Yeah.
A lot of things are like even a monkey is symmetric. Like it's not as perfect as us, quote unquote. But like it's still you got your eyes, where you look at something like a horse, bro, eyes are over here, dog. That's probably pretty hard to deal with.
Yeah.
You can never see straight.
Yeah, you don't see like
you're just constantly like
blind spot or whatever.
It's the only way, and you gotta run this way. Yeah. Like maybe that's why sometimes they run on that angle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
so they can just kind of see forward a little bit. Yeah, this works.
Or like yeah, I mean like there's a lot of like weird features that the body has that like really like we still like even though we can live without an appendix, like you still always have one. That's just more calories to operate, and whatnot. That's just more energy to use. Like, again, eating through the same mouth that you breathe with so you can choke. That's also a pretty fucked up thing about us.
With some wisdom teeth and some tonsils that technically you don't need to.
Exactly.
Arguable. But I was also watching another thing about how, like, when they first went deep down to, like, the bottom of the ocean, actually up to the bottom of a lot of things that we were wondering about as far as, like, ocean exploration.
Right.
So I watched a TED Talk of the leader in it, right? So basically they call him, like, the Elon Musk of underwater. That's basically what it is. And
that's funny.
So he's the first person that went to the bottom of the Atlantic. It's the first person ever to touch the bottom of that. There's been a few people that no. Listen to this, dog. There's been a few people that have did it in the Indian Ocean, right? Indian Ocean. But apparently it's super hard because Indian Ocean is choppy for some reason. Like I guess there's probably a reason, but I don't know that. But it's choppy over there. So like that's what he's looking to do next. He's gonna go there and he's supposed to do that a few times, and then that's supposed to basically open him to basically be like a SpaceX for underwater, and start trying to.
Damn.
But so when they touched it, he was talking about it. Well, it's like the way he said it.
He
was like
so cool.
The thing is, he was like. It was like they're down there for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were down there a while.
And they spend like 5 coming up.
Yeah, and going down. Yeah. It's like 14 hours and they're down there for like 8. So like 3 and 3 or something like that. Yeah. And he was saying like, well, if there is a problem, you wouldn't know. You just be dead.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't even have time because you're already down there. But the thing about it is when they first went to the bottom here, so they're exploring some of them like translucent fish and shit.
Yeah.
They were afraid that like certain colors might kill these fish. Of our light, because light doesn't even go down there. So then, I can't. I'll butcher it if I even try. But basically, there's a square of circle that goes down there. So if I can like remember correctly, it's like red light can go down there. So red light is technically down there, but blue light can't reach that deep. Something along the lines of that. And then there's 2 different kinds of lights. And it mixture. So the light that we use is actually perfectly fine on that. But there is like lights that they worry that might fuck them up. But the cool thing I learned about this is the predators that are down there, bro. They don't all have flashlights and shit. They actually have red light.
They're the vision.
Basically, for like to light up a translucent creature.
Exactly.
So they can kill it, dog. Yeah. It's insane, bro.
Like I think the
alien. That's alien.
Yeah, exactly.
That's alien. If
you ever look at that fucking there's that one shark where the jaw like extends, and then the fucking anglerfish, which is the one that has the lamp out in front.
Oh yeah. When it comes like that,
yeah. There's one like that, and it uses it because people like they think it's like bioluminescent algae or some shit they can eat on, and just eat their ass. But yeah, bottom of the ocean, otherworldly shit.
How about this? Middle of the earth. That's what they're about to crack right now, dog. Because
there's no way.
Listen,
there's no way.
They're about to crack it, bro. Well, it's just iron, basically. It's like iron.
Well, it's molten, right?
Molten. I believe iron's the number one thing that's there, though. And it's actually supposed to be a solid, but it's just so much pressure that it turns it to that heat and that hot. Well, it's spinning, and it's not spinning how Earth spins. So it's always
it spins in reverse, doesn't it?
We don't know. That's what we're about to find out. We've always wondered. We don't even know. Like
how do you find that out?
We're about to get in there.
How the fuck do you find that out? Like,
get in there, dog.
You just launch a satellite, and you're like, all right, X-ray. You shoot a fucking big ass X-ray at the Earth.
It's crazy to think that. I mean, even that guy that went to the bottom of that Atlantic Ocean, we can go deeper to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean.
There's deeper parts, yeah.
Deeper parts.
But there's like deep parts, like probably like at least like 10 times deeper than that in the Atlantic. Like that's literally. I think
gives me anxiety thinking.
I think like Mariana's Trench is like
it's the deepest.
Like it's deeper than the Mount Everest is tall.
But
it's deeper than Kilimanjaro is tall, whatever the highest mountain is.
But now there's a crack apparently inside of that.
That's deeper, yeah. Yeah.
No.
Like what? Oh man, like you know how they used to like measure the ocean depth? They used to just like let out rope until they I don't know, like they used to just like a big ass weight with a rope on it, until like it kind of like hit something, and then they would measure the rope.
That's scary just to do, ain't it?
Exactly.
If you got that much rope,
that's how like the trench was found because they kept going, which is like it just kept going and going and going.
Oh my god! With my fears, dog, I do not want to be the guy that's on that rope go. That is just a weird feeling to be like. I've let go a lot of rope. And you're just looking back, it's just like hella rope. And as you're looking back, it's just less and less rope.
No more rope on board. You're just like,
and now you got this big ass thing hanging over the boat.
And then you realize you literally have 25 miles of rope on board. And you're like,
and then what if out of nowhere you just felt this big ass like
that's like one thing is like imagine the first person like find a giant squid. And you're just like,
there ain't a god, there's a devil.
Exactly. You're just like, nope.
It was reaching
aliens on Earth.
Those 5 passengers that got lost. They were on a
God.
yacht, bro, and the fucking yacht sank. And they only had one raft. They had it was 5 people for 5 days is what it ended up being the whole till they got saved. Only 2 survived. They couldn't even go 5 days. Nobody knows ever. You never really know what happened out there, right?
Exactly.
I've
right.
talked about that before.
Yeah.
Like you don't really know.
Might just kill them.
Yeah, but apparently the story does sound true. They said right away sharks started circling them, bro. Right away when they were going into the raft, the woman that's telling the story, the one that lived, had a cut. Somebody else had a cut too, but she had a cut, and like she was thinking that's probably what attracted these sharks right away.
Yeah.
And she said they would not leave, bro. Like they're just in a fucking blow up raft and they're bumping it and shit.
Yeah.
And
oh
yeah.
Fuck.
Yep.
You feel a shark hit below your
And then it said like
shit.
They said like 3 days went by, and then motherfuckers just started going crazy. You know, that 3-day mark of no water, bro, started going crazy. The captain of the yacht.
3 days. It sounds like it's time to start going crazy. I don't know.
You don't have a choice, bro. You're hallucinating.
3 days without water. No, you're not.
Are you smoking crack right now, bro?
No, there's people literally
Dog.
do water fast for like 3 days. Like
You're not in the middle of the ocean on a raft, Steven.
well, under the sun. You're right.
You're
about
dying,
You're
bro.
right about that.
You're frying. It's that
Huh.
raft is probably 100 fucking degrees.
Yeah.
Literally, the plastic's probably 100 degrees.
Yeah.
It's nothing but water shining on you.
Maybe longer. I don't
Dog,
know.
if you can't go 4 days without water. If you go 4 days without water of no sort, you're dead.
No, I think that's true.
Yeah,
I
dog,
think
look
it's
at
4
that.
days.
You
I
can
think
go
it's 4 days.
72 hours without water, bro. You can go like, I think it's like people want like 3 months with food, with low food or no food or something along the lines of that. But you got 72 hours of no water, dog, and that's it. And that's from fact what I know.
Let's see.
That 4th day, you're hallucinating.
Oh, this one's so let's see.
Should have popped right up.
So 3 people typically only last 3 to 4 days without water. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So that's how long you got. So that 4th day,
Okay.
that's if me and you was just sitting right here, right, and then drink no water. In 4 days, you're
Yeah,
dead.
I feel you.
So
Yeah,
now
you
these
go.
guys are out in a raft, and it's the 3rd day, bro. You know, a lot of people will start drinking the salt
They
water.
start drinking,
And
it
that
for
makes
some
you
relief.
more.
Yeah.
None of them drink
Kills
salt
you.
water. Nobody drink no salt water, right? They just start hallucinating right away.
It also poisons you.
Yeah. So they there's people on Titanic, you know, they swam down the Titanic. People that sank in the Titanic,
Yeah.
they tried to swim down there. People were like trying to go to ice cream machines and shit. That's how fucking
Crazy.
gone they were out there. Yeah. But on this one, so he thinks he sees land. The captain jumps out the boat, bro, and starts swimming. And they said, all you hear is the screeches and the cries.
Oh fuck.
Yep. Right next to him.
Yeah.
So then a second person, bro, jumps the fuck over. Fucking same exact thing, just hallucinating. I forget exactly what this thing was.
Ooh,
They
shit.
watched the sharks eat this one.
God
right?
damn.
So the third one is another woman, and she's injured. So she got a bacteria infection, bro. Apparently, she dies. They wake up one day and she's dead.
Yeah, you
Like-
start pissing shit in the boat.
That's in the raft. They said
Exactly,
it was
the raft,
halfway
yeah.
filled with shit and piss.
Yeah.
They weren't doing that. They weren't going nowhere but shit and piss there.
Yeah.
Which don't make sense. Seems like you could figure something
After a couple
out.
of days, you probably can't move too well, you know.
Well, we're not going to start. We're not
And
going
then
to
you
do it
start
until we
having
have
explosive
to.
diarrhea,
Oh yeah, you're
yeah.
right. You can't get up and shit. is what you're
Exactly,
saying,
you
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Well, they said the third person they died, and they said they were like, we were thinking about eating her, but she died from like a bacteria infection, basically. You know, so they're
Yeah,
like,
you don't,
I think we can, so they had to throw her out, and they saved like her ID, I think, or something like that, her shirt and her
yeah,
necklace, and they watched the sharks eat her, and that was on the
Goddamn.
4th day, and then the 5th day, a fucking Russian cargo ship seen them.
Yeah.
All they had to do was just last,
Just
you know?
wait, you know. Man, that shit's dude, that shit's fucking. It'd be terrifying just to be surrounded by sharks and like you see people or hear people getting eaten by sharks. It's even fucking crazier. Couple of that, and I can't see land around me. I'm going fucking crazy.
What
Like,
about that American family, yo, that was snorkeling? Did you see that? Oh, bro, they were
No.
they were snorkeling on like fucking. God damn it! I know the one. It's like one of them tropical ones, and I can't fucking one of the P's
Yeah.
or the tropical one, not Puerto Rico, but like not Punta Cana. There's one more, but
Panama.
I think it was Panama, actually. I think it was. That's pretty sweet. I think it might have been Panama, or it was something along the lines of that.
I'm like, all right, he went through a couple of them. Panama.
And they said it was the daughter. She was 17. It was the mom, and it was the dad. And so they all go out to snorkel through a trip, that they paid for and shit.
Right.
So they all go out to snorkel, and actually, the dad decided not to go. That's what it was. The dad,
just the mom and daughter went.
Just the mom and daughter went.
Okay.
And apparently, they got a little ways from the rest of the crowd. There was no warnings though of like, stay with the group or watch out for sharks or nothing.
Right.
And the mom said she was just sitting there snorkeling with her daughter, and next thing you know, her daughter looked at her and said, "Mom, there's a shark next to me." And by the time she looked at her daughter, she was screaming.
Oh,
She said first bite, the shark took her whole arm off, bro.
Jesus.
Whole arm was missing. And that's the last bit she's seen of her daughter till she went under. Then they bit her thigh and her ass. Both her thighs and her ass. And
the mom or the daughter?
The daughter. Yeah, they didn't bite the mom at all.
Oh, I got you.
Then they left her, and she flew back up, and she fucking basically finished off dying in the mom's arms.
Happy.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn, man.
Yep. Right there in front of her, dog.
Yeah, you're just watching it.
And it's like they're not even asking, like, they're not even trying to sue him or nothing. They're just asking that, like, they take the proper measures.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because I try to do whatever I can. Not even that I care about the money. I'll kill you, actually. As soon as I get on the boat, I'm killing you. That's right.
You're done. You're done.
Yeah, there's no way.
Different, but like there's this dude who he was scuba diving with a crew. He went down scuba diving in the middle of the ocean, came up like I want to say maybe like an hour later or something however long action asked, and the boat was gone. All I had was like his little emergency flotation thing that he was just floating in the water with, and he had a GoPro with him. And he's filming himself. He was literally out there for like 6 hours. It started getting dark, and he's just like, well, I guess that's a wrap for Jakey. It's been nice. And it's like another hour or two go by on this video. It's pitch black.
Oh my God.
Next thing you know, the helicopter comes.
Video?
Next time, you go.
I've got to watch that just for the feel.
Next time they come, next thing you know, the chopper's coming, and because of his little flotation thing, it's like a big orange thing that sticks out. They're able to find him and get him back home and whatnot. But
he says that too.
He's literally floating there.
He had good spirits,
darker and darker. Yeah,
he was in good spirits now.
But he wasn't even in a float, like a boat or anything. He was just in the
floating
ocean on top of a flotation device.
He's so lucky that nothing came for him.
And he has wetsuit on. That's the only thing that kept him from hypothermia. And he's sitting there. He's like, because in the water's like that cold, especially with only like a wetsuit on, you might last a day in the open ocean just like from hypothermia, especially at night.
Right.
Might not make it till morning.
You said the video was pitch black, dog.
Yeah,
that would kill me.
It's like you see the sky turning purple and it's like darker and darker. And he's like, well, I guess he's just floating there. Like, I guess it's a wrap for Jakey.
Bro,
nice,
That makes me want to throw up, dog.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
The thing is, it's one thing to be out there. It's one thing to be out there in the sun,
Crazy.
It's another thing to be out there at night.
That was exactly.
And it's fucked up because if he's snorkeling, he's got goggles and shit like that. It's like, I don't even want to look under the water,
exactly,
dog. I don't even want to know if something's close. If something's close, just bite me.
Especially if it's like really dark and it's like, well, now I can't see my fucking feet.
Oh my God, bro!
I can't see my feet.
Who knows throughout that time of 6 hours how many things were right by him? You know what I mean? They were there.
Oh my God,
it's not like nothing was there.
This video will make you sick, man. It's like
that's what it sounds like.
Like
you just picture he's right here like a whale. It's just right underneath of him. You don't even know.
Go by now.
Yeah, you don't even know. Yeah, anything, a stingray.
You had a huge like school of jellyfish pass around you. You didn't happen to get stung.
Poseidon.
It's like
didn't even dunk you.
Oh man,
that's horrific.
I mean, you sick,
bro. That's my nightmare, bro. That's my. I hate to say it, but it's as dumb as it sounds. I just would swim, bro, because I couldn't stay still. I couldn't stay still. It just wouldn't be a way. I'll just swim. I know I ain't going nowhere, but I'll just keep swimming.
Yeah. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. I don't know if you're supposed to stay within the search area or whatever. I don't know.
Well, you're
supposed to do.
You're never gonna stay in the search area.
Well, your currents go float you, but they'll have.
Oh, then they could guess where that's going.
Area, general area. They know the way the certain currents flow.
It's weird how they just you ever see that movie? God, you're the worst, bro. I ain't even going down that line with you.
What movie is it?
Is it with Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher, The Guardian?
No. No.
Oh, dude. No, I mean, it's not. It's a little corny, but it's like a badass.
I've seen Deep Blue Sea with LL Cool J.
Yeah, way gayer. This is actually supposed to be a true story, but it's about I guess it's the Coast Guard.
Right.
It's whatever the military branch is of saving people in the water.
Coast Guard, yeah.
Coast Guard,
yeah.
right? And it's almost I want to tell this story of this movie. I literally want to because it's just so cool. It's
based on a true story.
It's one of the movies that gives you it's that Black Hawk Down type of feel.
Spoiler alert.
You know what I mean? It's a Black Hawk Down type of feel.
Right.
That same type of thing, basically. Like Ashton Kutcher, try and sum it up as quick as I can. Goes there. Kevin Costner's like this legendary swimmer. He saved like 28 people, out there in the ocean. And he's like all banged up now. He's got all these injuries and shit. And Ashton Kutcher is like a guy that could have apparently went to like the Olympics for swimming and shit, but had some shit happen. And his family died actually, but yeah. But had some shit happen
because of the PED.
Yeah. So he ended up going, to the Coast Guard and shit. And he's just got like extraordinary talent. Like he holds his breath for like twice as long as everybody else.
Swimming hard as shit.
Everything comes for all Kevin Costner's records and shit like that.
Right.
It's corny like that, right? But basically, like it gets to a point where like Kevin Costner's like. She shows him the way a few times, and then he's like, "It's funny. I always remember like the littlest dumbest shit. Like, I remember a lot of useful information too. Was like all this shit was just like there's this part where like right before they jump out, Kevin Costner always chews spearmint gum. He's like keeps the taste of the sea out of your mouth. And puts it up on the helicopter, and then he jumps out. And like,
he chews it and sticks it?
He chews it. Well, the whole time he's chewing as they're going out there.
And he sticks it.
And he's like, keeps tasting the sea out of your mouth. It's just so cool. And they jump in there. So they do like one together, two together, then Kevin retires. And then, of course, there's like, apparently it's a true story. I don't know. But there's like this big storm, right? That's coming. And there's like this boat going down. And at this point, Ashton Kutcher's the man now. The Kevin Costner. And he's chewing a spearmint gum and shit.
Yeah.
So he goes.
Talking to a rookie.
He goes, he goes out there and he fucking jumps in, and it's just like it's one of the movies where, like I said, you have to watch to get the feels, Black Hawk Down type of feel. Where like
I think I remember this movie. Though.
It's just this crazy fucking storm, and these guys are on this fishing boat. There's like 4 of them. He gets 3 of them off, and there's one that's stuck, and they're stuck in it's so many parts like this in fishing movies, but they get stuck. The door gets blocked off and shit, and the guy's in there. He's like, "You didn't have to come back for me, man. I really appreciate it." And he's like, "It's all right, man. It's all right." And the water's just filling up.
I got you.
And out of nowhere, they ain't got nobody because everybody's out saving people because like it's this huge storm, And then it's like they got nobody else back in the base. And they're like, Kevin. I'm using his name. Obviously, that's not it. Like, Kevin Costner,
Kevin.
Yeah, they're like. Ashton, he's out there. We got nobody else. And he just loads all on drives down there, He's like, we got a chopper. And they like find him a chopper and he goes out there. And he jumps in, he fucking frees the boat. The thing's going down. He gets them both out of there. He gets them up there and like
action movie.
So they had the guy, they had him, and then they had Kevin Costner. And like as they're going up, the line fucking rips. A little bit, and it's like holding on by a strand. Now it's like this tense moment, and Kevin's holding on. He's like, yeah, pretty much. He's like, it ain't gonna hold us both, kid. It's just like one of them movies, but it ain't so bad.
Exactly.
It's like Rocky, where it's like corny. It's corny, but you're like,
it's great.
Cool, man.
Yeah, let's go, doesn't it?
Yeah, he cuts it. He cuts the wire.
Yeah, so they so the other 2 can get saved.
Because Ashton wouldn't let him go and shit, And like I said, it's all based on a true story. I don't know.
They fall back like this.
Yeah, and it goes in and like there's rumors that like he swam to an island and shit because people were saying like later in life there was a group of 2 men that said a man saved them when they were drowning in this cave. They're like he saved us and he left. I don't know what that's about or anything.
Exactly.
But it was pretty cool of like apparently the fact of the movie is like
insinuate that he's alive somewhere.
Kevin Costner had a horrible shoulder And then like everybody used to clown him for it. And then like at the end, they're like right before he goes out, he's at the bar right when he gets that call and shit. And he's like, the guy's like, what happened to your shoulder? Some joke or whatever. And then like the woman tells a story. He's like, he one arm carried a man swinging from a helicopter for 28 minutes. And it's like something shit like that, like 28 straight minutes of like the same style that Ashton Kutcher had him.
Just get ripped apart.
And then he kind of knew like, oh, this dude's arm's gonna rip all up and shit, maybe. And it's like that's what they're insinuating. Is like he tore every tendon in his shoulder. He never let go. You know how it is with those movies.
Classic legend. Just like when they were like, they say some random man saved him out of the cave. They're insinuating he's alive.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to keep it out
the
there.
Legend
like,
and whatnot, you know. So
he got dropped in the middle of the ocean in the middle of the night.
I mean, for me, like, you know, I'm just like thinking in real life. I'm just like, oh, Kevin Costner's off on some island somewhere.
Yeah,
like a real life legend. Like Kevin Costner's somewhere.
The cool, but like when I look at that, like I've told you, that's my biggest fear in the world is like would have to be the jump out of
big water.
At nighttime, especially though, like big time night like that.
That's
really
tough,
bothers me. And now you're talking about like jumping out of a plane. But I think about something like that. I'm like, man, I would want to do that because I would never get bored of my job. Literally never bored. I could complain about the pay or whatever it is. But like, no matter what, every time you're scared, boy.
Yeah. I was watching that video where like the Coast Guard dude jumps on that moving sub in the middle of the water. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you may like every day you're doing some.
That was cool and everything, but that's nowhere near as risky as I think. Like the shit that I'm saying right there.
Of course, because
he had so many people there and shit.
Yeah, but like I'm also thinking like he was untethered, he was fully geared up, so he falls in the water. Tough to swim with that on, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's still.
I'm sure he has risky, a flotation, bro.
You know,
he's got a 100%.
But still, you know,
but like that, those guys with those helicopters, bro. It's just two people driving, two people jumping.
Yeah,
that's it, bro. And they both go in the water. You know what I mean? And it's like
it's some crazy storm.
Crazy storm, middle of the night, 30-foot waves, trying to save someone. Like I just would think every time I'm in the helicopter, I'm just like, I do not want to jump in this water, bro. I do not want to jump in this water.
I don't think you'll ever be like, I don't want to go to work today.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, right? Because you're so. You're gonna tell me those people should better smoke weed, bro. If those people can't smoke weed, that's insane. Or something, whatever. They can do whatever they want. If you're getting ketamine, I don't give a fuck, bro.
You gotta get lost.
If you're good, you're good. You're living with PTSD, anxiousness, anxiety,
every fucking day, man. I mean, I thought you're working 8-hour shift. You're probably working 14 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's just like. You may have 4 crews on.
For me, it's just like, as soon as I seen people, though, that's all I would need, you know? And I could get past all my fears, man.
Yeah.
I always thought about that, like jumping from, like, a cruise ship, right? Just seems insane to me.
Like someone would die jumping off, like, one of the high floors. Like,
maybe if it was up there, yeah.
Up there,
I don't think it's that high.
Some of them are pretty high, bro. You think out of that water.
You think they're 10 stories?
Sometimes on those cruise ships,
yeah,
bro.
maybe.
You know, there was like someone.
But usually, like the deck is.
Like someone jumped on like from the 11th
yeah,
floor.
maybe.
You know,
but like the deck,
above the deck. You
the
know?
deck looks like 5. Usually about 5 or 6, I'd say.
Yeah.
So about 50, 60 feet. Yeah. I always thought like, man.
There was that one video where that guy jumped off. You know?
I'd hate that.
That was crazy.
That's what I was always thinking. Like, I'd hate to have to jump in that water. But I was like, if someone fell in that water, I think I would just do it, you know, and not think about it. Like, even if it was nighttime. Whatever. Yeah. I'm just gonna go, right? Like I like to think that.
Grab the life rig, just go.
Listen, I know I talk a lot of shit about like I think I would step up, right? If there's any time to question me, it's on that one.
Yeah.
Because that's like the one that is like at that point.
Let me tell you what you're setting yourself up for right now. We're gonna be in some type of situation that we've always talked about, you know, and you've run down these stairs. We're like, I'm that guy. And like these happen. We're just looking. We're just like, everyone's looking at you, just like.
I always felt like,
look, I actually don't think I want to do this one,
this
man.
Is
like,
actually,
this is crazy shit.
This is the one time. But especially if
everyone has their limits, okay?
Especially if, you know, I had you with me. I feel like I'm like, come on, Steve, you know. I need you, bro. I need you, dog. And 2 people, I feel a lot more confident.
Yeah, I know I'm that person where, like, someone looks at me like, I need you, man. I'm just like, all right, you got me, bro. You know? It's like, I'm never 100% sure that I'll ever be the first to act, but someone come to me and be like,
so
bro,
what about
I need
if
you.
we're on a cruise ship, somebody falls over, and I just jump over? What do you think? Are you gonna follow up?
I'm
How are you
going
feeling?
100%, like, especially if you take a life ring. I'm grabbing one of those first, chucking it out. See how the situation goes, I might jump in next. But this is the thing. This is the thing. What's worse than 2 people in distress dying? Well, 3 people in distress dying. It's like, I know I might be able to save one. But if I go in, I'm coming out with you or the person you initially went to save.
Yeah, but you know,
I know
that guy will fight.
But listen, now I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, well, if Newell did that, he wants me to save the other person before I save him. You know, that's what Newell wants. That's what Newell wants.
You know how they fight you and shit, like people that are drowning.
They actually advise people not to do that because they're not trained to deal with that. And
well,
swim,
I watched The Guardian with Kevin Costner, and I watched the training. All right, so I know how to handle that. All right. There was a specific guy that could not pass the test. It's a big part of the movie. Okay, and I know how to properly handle someone in the water. Just knock them out.
It's the cruise ship. You're just like, well, I've watched The Guardian.
Kevin Costner.
And then of course,
28 minutes.
Of course, everyone around is someone like me, and they're like, I've never seen that movie. You're just like, you wouldn't get it. So
and then there's like that one old lady that comes out like the bag, and he's like, 28 minutes. So I didn't let go.
No, someone just comes up like, with Kevin Costner?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes, with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, they made it seem like it was still alive.
Didn't he tear all the things that show 2 minutes? And then you already jumped in.
Impressive.
You've missed that person recognizing.
He just gets everybody on the deck to go watch The Guardian. He's like, come on, guys, we're fine.
Yeah, like someone like way down the line. He's like, Kevin Costner, 28 minutes? Like, no one's seen that. Wow.
What? Ashton?
I hope this boat sinks. No one's seen the Guardian.
Culture.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, man, it just ain't what it is. Used to be, man. This ain't what it used to be, is it? Man,
yeah, but that would be fear. But I've always felt like I've always felt like I had the the inclination to be like, if someone's inclination, I don't know if that's a word, but I've always felt inclined that if someone's life is at risk, I know I'll do something. I feel like I would do something.
Yeah.
Like, simple as that, I was like, and I got into a big argument with Jeff about that, before where like there was that fire, in Eastwood. That was when I didn't live here. I lived over, by the Heights and shit. And did I just tell people my location?
Used to.
But there was a fire, that apparently like it burnt a baby. I can't remember if the baby died. I think the baby died or it got burnt up real bad. And the dog died.
The dog was laying on it.
The dog died and shit. And I remember, me being me, just saying what I think, and just like I was telling Jeff, Jeff was telling me, like, he's like, yeah, I was out front. I'm like, what? Well, Foley was agreeing with me, we're like, what? I was like, yeah. I'm like, bro, there's no way, dog. Like, there's just no way that I would be out front. I hear someone says there's a baby in there.
Exactly.
And I don't go in.
Right.
Or if there's a dog in there. I'm not knocking Jeff. Like, Jeff was saying there was we got into a little argument about it because it's like he was saying it was a specific situation, but it's just like the Eric Garner thing to me where it's like, I don't care.
Right.
Don't care what the cops said. Don't care what the firefighter said. I don't care nothing. Someone said there's a baby in there, a dog. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, I'm here, bro. I'm going to try and save it. I'm not saying I'm going to walk through fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, I can't do something that's out of this realm.
Like, you're not going to, like, you're not going to walk through the door as the door collapses behind you.
Exactly.
And then you walk out that back door through smoke and flames.
But like the way he's explaining, like
style.
The way he's blowing up and shit. The way he was explaining, like, kind of pissed me off though, because it's like I was like, bro, what happened? He's like, at first the cops showed up, and then the cops said that we couldn't go in. He said they were trying to, but he said they couldn't go in. Then the cops said they couldn't go in until the firefighters got there. Then when the firefighters got there, they started arguing about why the cops didn't already go in. So it became like an issue, and apparently it wasn't like the fastest response of things. And I'm like,
Jesus,
bro, I see an argument going on, especially like, I just know. I know me, I know, like, I just know what's inside of here, bro.
Right,
like, I'm going to try. I'm going to try something. I can't say I would be successful or that I'd be the hero of the day, and that's not what I'm trying to be. I literally would just go, someone's going to die if you don't do this. So it's time to do something, I mean, whatever. You got to try, bro. You have to try. You cannot be the person that watches. I've been the person that watches, bro. All you do is live with regret. I've been the person that watches multiple times. You live with regret.
Yeah, there's the thing called like the bystander effect. Where
Yeah,
it's like you
exactly.
don't feel the need to do something because someone's already doing something about it, you know?
You know
So
what? There's an instance in my life, you know, that really changed things for me down that line of like, you know, one time I was I don't even want to say names basically, right? But I was at Voltage and just to make a long story short, I had these two friends, a couple, you know, a girl and a boy. And we were there all night for the all you can drinks, $20 all you can drink. And it was me, Mario, and these two. And we're just getting fucked up, bro. Just so
drinking.
fucked up. Like 1 o'clock comes around and they start arguing a little bit, you know? They just start arguing a little bit and they're just getting more and more fucked up. And so we go outside and they're like, all right, we're gonna go home. And like me and Mario are just dumbasses at the time too. Like we're doing the same thing, you know, just a shorter drive.
Right.
It's really all it is. And they're like, we're gonna go home. And just like me and Mario are just like kind of feeling it out. I'm kind of like trying to tell, like, is this guy drunk? Her boyfriend, you know, mainly. It was like the girl and her boyfriend, like, is this guy drunk? Because he's driving. And like I couldn't tell. Like, because I'm drunk too,
right,
you
exactly,
know,
you
but
know.
like nothing stuck out to me. You know, and they're like, we're gonna go home. And they left with another friend of mine and they ended up making it to drop, you know, that person off. And then they were going around the exit, bro, and they fucking wrapped the car around a tree and died, dog.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, bro. It gives me chills still saying it, bro. And it's like that was a day where it's like bystander effect, you know? I wasn't sure. Like I knew we had been drinking, but I wasn't sure how drunk they were, as stupid as that sounds.
Right.
Like you shouldn't be doing it at all.
Exactly.
But then I kind of looked at my friend. I'm like, you're not saying nothing. You don't think so? And then I look at Mario and like you don't think so? And it's just kind of like you just let him go.
Yeah.
And the next thing
that was last time.
That's the last time, bro. That's
Yeah,
the
man.
last time I will ever fucking do something like that in my life, bro. I swear to God,
speak up from here on out.
I'm gonna speak up. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what people think about it, bro. Like that one really bothers me, dog. That one really fucking haunts me. I mean, we weren't, you know, brothers or nothing like that, but it was just a really tough one
to swallow, especially like when you could have done something to change the situation.
These are 20-year-old fucking kids, dog, and they've got moms, dads, sisters, brothers, and I'm the last one that's seen them alive, dog.
Yeah.
A random person. Like, to this day, they probably don't even know that I'm the last person to talk to them. It's crazy because I don't know their parents and stuff, you know? Right. So, like, that, like, it's just like, they don't even know that, man. Exactly. It's like, it's just like, just live with that, dog. Just horrible, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one to carry around, you know, especially, you know. Yeah. I mean, change your mind forever, you know. So you never be that guy again.
I will never be that guy again.
Never be that guy again, man.
Gotta happen to you, man. Gotta at least try. I gotta try. I gotta try and say I won't, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
I gotta try and do the right thing. When I see it, I notice this doesn't make sense. Well, why don't it make sense, Mike? You're not an idiot. Why doesn't this make sense? Simple as that. Exactly. Figure it out.
Does it make sense?
Figure it out.
Figure it out, yep.
Instead of just saying,
yeah,
no one else is saying nothing and you look okay, so go for it. And then bam, like they had to exit.
People, y'all gotta figure it out.
They had to exit, bro, going like 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, probably just slid out.
That's it, yo.
Yeah.
If you look at it too, it's like one of those yokes, you know?
Yeah, sharp ones, yeah.
Oh man, it's so sharp. And
there's really no such thing as like a non-sharp exit.
Yeah, but like
vicinity.
This one is fucking like you could tell, like if you're going too fast and you don't even have a chance to hit brake, then yank. Exactly. It's pretty much you would have to yank to even have a chance of making the turn.
Exactly.
And I just picture
shoot off.
It looked like, from what I've seen, like he didn't even get a good yank in.
Right.
It pretty much was just like, oh, and then bam.
Exactly.
You know, you're just going too fast. Raining that night too, dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's another book.
Raining that night.
Primarily slid out going out that bitch, and then there's no getting back from that speed.
Absolutely.
Y'all got to act on your instinct. Y'all got to speak up. Everybody got to speak up. Everybody has to, you know.
For sure. And, you know, I'm so thankful, that when I've been in a car like that, nothing's ever happened, because I've put myself in that position so many times. Like I can remember times I was blacked out, like just don't even remember. And I'm driving with someone that's drunk. I don't even remember if they drove good or not. I couldn't even tell you. I could just die and not even knew that I died. Literally, like as stupid as that sounds, you just would be blacked out and then you never come back.
Exactly, and you're gone.
You're just doing something. I'm like, what dumbass got in the back of there? But then, I wasn't blacked out times that I got in the front, and I've done it. It's just like, you're just naive and stupid and no one really gives you the game properly. And like,
well, like,
you're just like,
that's one of alcohol's things. You don't have the best judgment when you're drunk, It's
but like, usually, like I said, like I can be pretty on par, but with me, it was always like that. Like when we went to that club specifically, my house was so close. And I'd be like, let's just walk. And it's like, oh, well, it's so close. Maybe just a short drive.
Right.
But you don't always end up going back to the house.
Exactly.
You might go to Royal Farms or the hookah bar or after party. And now you're out driving drunk. And even if you did drive to the house, 6 blocks, that's enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, that was well before the Uber and shit, was even a thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. I wish it was there, bro. It would have cost me $5 to get home. I would have took that every night to stay away from the things that I've put myself into. Like I didn't even have to, but at the same time, you're like, I'm drunk as shit. I don't want to be walking through the heights. At the same time, you're like, I know this ain't safe, but that ain't safe.
I was like, this one at least I'm fucking robbed.
Yeah, if I die,
it's so close. Even if we only go 5 miles an hour to get there, we'll get there safely.
Like, so fucking dumb, man. So dumb.
You live, man. You learn from your mistakes. You're a better person because of it.
Yeah, but you see so many people that's just like driving in fucking cars, man.
Yeah, exactly. Just like not have to come get their car later.
It almost seems like all cars should have breathalyzers.
Right, to stop people from doing it. Drinking,
Not one like every 30 seconds or something like that, but like maybe like you can't start your car without your DNA blowing in there.
Exactly. Just
or someone on your insurance. We can get a DNA swab and make that approvable for your car.
Exactly.
And that's why people that can drive your car. That'll help. Also help with auto theft. Let's go.
Let's do it.
What's up?
Get it done.
It just don't make sense.
Solving the world's problems one by one. One by one, we tackling them, getting them solved.
It's weird. I guess you could get
some herpes.
You could get a DUI if you were high driving. And you
I just have the breathalyzer do the same thing. Hey, you can't drive while you're high.
But you can't.
Detects the same thing.
Yeah, but they can't blow for that. You can't tell.
You can. They have things where you can blow now, but
they can't tell if you just smoked out. Like they can't tell the time of when you smoked.
If you were able to find it, you can trace it somewhere, where to see not what time you smoked, but if you're impaired. It doesn't matter when you're drunk.
Absolutely right.
It's how drunk you are.
I know I'm biased, and I'm gonna be biased on this one. But listen, I do drive high.
I drive high too.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. As a governor or as a president of the United States, I'd be like, if someone got into an accident while high, right? And someone was murdered, that's always a problem.
Yeah.
But I'm more looking towards you as what did you do wrong driving wise? And then if something don't make sense, then I lean it towards you were high. That's probably why you thought you could make a U-turn here.
Either that,
now I can do that, right?
You didn't check your mirror.
But with alcohol, you're like, oh, you got an accident? Oh, you can't drink and drive. You're gonna get in an accident, idiot. Like it's just assumed, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where in the other case with weed, it's like, oh, something happened. Now I'll see if it was the weed. Where like something happens with alcohol, you're like, oh, it's the alcohol, dummy.
Yeah, of course I'm guilty of driving high. I try not to do it, because I typically don't. There's sometimes when I do like it, but there's a lot of times where I don't like it, I think I'm a little more paranoid because I know the blowback. If I get into an accident, if I smell weed on you, it's like, oh, that's why you got an accident, just like that,
Yeah, but they can't do nothing with that right there, though. Like we smell weed, they wouldn't have nothing on you.
Yeah, but it definitely makes it harder for insurance. Like you get the police report, it gets on the police report that the person thinks I'm high. They write that shit down. They're gonna talk to the cop. He's fucking high. Okay, it's going down. It's gonna be a hard thing to deal with.
I mean, it could
why
be
were drugs even mentioned? Why were drugs or any type of anything that could alter, your state even mentioned in the report during accident. You know,
it's just like in that case though, it's like I come to him and be like, he smells like cigs. He must have been smoking a cig while he was driving.
But
you know what I mean?
But
like,
come on, you know why that's different though. Come on, man.
He must have had a nicotine high when he crashed.
But you know why it's different, you know?
I do, but I'm saying
see a Red Bull in his thing. Why is he injected on his caffeine?
I'm saying I don't even think that's a thing. Like if that's still out here in police reports, that's ridiculous. I wouldn't even imagine it being them anymore. Of like, we didn't find no weed on them. There's no inclination that I keep saying that. Inclination. It's like inclination.
Yeah.
But I keep throwing an M on there.
Yeah.
There's no inclination that it's because of he just smoked a 7-gram blunt. Like you can't just, you know what I mean, guess that. So then basically you're just writing a personal opinion of I smell weed. That's all that is.
But this is my thing. Like, you know, as a statement on it, a statement on it regardless. You know that as a cop comes up, they may not necessarily charge you or put you down that you're driving high, or you know, it's like, well, he does believe that he was under the, you know, I mean, that's all something that goes into court. You know, it's like he does believe he was under these, because especially when you're battling insurance companies, that's relevant information to insurance companies that cops are responsible for getting down. You know, it's like,
yeah, I guess you got to take a look at your opponent over there and be like, let's both take a piss test. I'm like, yeah, I'll piss dirty for weed. You can say what you want, you know, but
we could piss dirty for.
What you gonna piss dirty for, boy?
That's like,
even if it is a subscription, you know, like.
Well, he wasn't supposed to be driving on the Percocet.
Exactly.
You know,
or like, oh, look at the levels that are in him. That's not a 10.
But that's
230.
That's what kind of bites you in the ass, because it's like we last year system so long. You know, it's like, let's say it gets you a month before you can get a piss test. You're still pissing dirty. And they're like, you know, maybe they were on 30s that day. Maybe they're not now. Or like, even so, they find out about the drug test ahead somewhat 2 days beforehand. They're able to get their body clean before you can even think about it, you know?
Yeah, I guess even if it was a 48-hour
drug
span,
tests,
you could always be like
biased towards specifically marijuana, because it targets what's in your system, you know, that stays in your system for so long, rather than what's currently
for sure
in your system, your level of highness or whatever, you know. So I mean that's a thing, you know. So definitely gotta get better with the technology on that one, you know, because I mean, I think especially when it comes to the strength of some weed nowadays. Like, I don't want some dude ripping dabs and then driving, you know? I don't think you should do that. You're definitely high as fuck. And probably, I mean, you're better than the drunk driver, but I still don't think it's okay, you know?
I mean, to me, that's one of them things where I'd have to go like...
Don't want like a...
To me, it doesn't sound like a good idea, but I feel like there should be research behind it. Like, at the same time, like, just because... I'm not trying to be the weed head that's defending it, but just because you want to say, oh, you can't drink and drive, doesn't mean you can't smoke weed and drive, or smoke before you go drive. Like that is not the same type of impairment.
Right.
That 100%. You know what I mean?
100%.
So for us to just accept that, like, oh, okay, well, you're letting us smoke, but we know we can't smoke high because you guys can't drink and drive. Like, I feel like that's us just like accepting a loss that we shouldn't even accept from the medical community of marijuana.
Well, I mean, like, just like all things, you know, it's like someone takes, you know, a Percocet. It's you know, you're not supposed to operate a vehicle under a Percocet.
So what if what if someone was subscribed medicinal marijuana and they were high when they murdered someone in a vehicle? Could that be used against that?
I think they'd be.
It doesn't say don't drive without when you're under use of the medical marijuana.
Yeah, you're not supposed to drive on that shit. You're not supposed to operate machinery. You're not supposed to do any of that, especially when you're on
sure?
High doses of
I thought
THC.
That was the big thing about Colorado
THC,
is that they were allowed to.
What's recreational? You're not supposed, like, in Colorado, it's illegal to drive while you're under the influence of marijuana. That's completely you're chargeable under the same DUI laws as you are, you know, regarding like.
But how do you know?
They have breathalyzers for weed now. That's the thing. Technology is coming up. You know,
I'll have to see that.
You know, I don't think it's necessarily like a breathalyzer, but I think you're subject to like a blood test. You know, like going back to it, and then they're able to kind of like pinpoint. You know,
what like, the fuck, dude? If that is the case, that should only be in fucking murder cases. But you're out here taking my blood and shit to see if I fucking was going 80 because I smoked.
That was one thing with, you know, the approval of recreational marijuana. They saw an increase in traffic accidents, you know, for a period of time after the recreational laws. I'm on the side where, like, you know, I don't think you should be able to, you know, operate a car under any type of, like, you know, like prescription medication, you know, like
Yeah, I guess
especially something to like,
well,
because like
they did defute that
like,
study, and they showed that like it was just the inclination of color.
Well, you start looking at it, you start actually recording them.
Well, it's actually not even that. It's actually after they passed the weed, they started getting 20,000 people a month extra in Denver, Colorado as tourism. People started moving there. 20,000 people a month.
Right.
So your car accidents are going to go up no matter what. You got more people in the city.
Right, 100%.
So they kind of refuted that one. Yeah. I'm being biased on it because I feel like I drive perfectly fine high. I literally feel like I'm a better driver. Like, I feel like personally, for most cases, that would help a lot of road rage. I really do believe that. Because when you smoke a blunt, like, I don't believe you should be able to smoke and drive anything, right? But I believe you should be able to be high and drive. I do. I do. It's a biased thing for me, though, I guess, And if I had to come to a full circle of it and we had to go, okay, this is the best way to go about this. But like to me, when you're saying like I'm a 55-year-old man, you prescribe me medical marijuana, I'm supposed to smoke this 6 times a day out of a bowl. I got places to be. You're gonna be doing blood tests to see that I smoke.
It wouldn't be any different if someone was like, prescribed like, take a high amount of painkiller.
No, it absolutely is different. I'm not gonna even go down that road of accepting that, Steven. You really believe that?
But this is my thing.
You really believe that, dog?
Yeah, 100%. Because listen, especially with marijuana, being high, THC, the effects of THC. One of those things associated with being under the influence of marijuana is reduced reaction time. That's a real thing.
That is. I can't deny that.
That's 100%. And then you got to take things into account especially when weeds also get into the strength that it is. We're not talking like some 15% THC marijuana. We got people out here smoking 50, 70%, doing especially with medical marijuana, doing tinctures where it's, thousands of milligrams of marijuana, or it's, a vape pen that's, a 0.5 gram vape pen and it's 80% THC.
And maybe we can do something along the lines of that, right? Of where you're like, hold up, there's this much amount that he's blowing for. Well, I don't even know how that technology works, but let's say it's like, oh, he just you can tell he smoked 10 blunts. Yeah. Then you're like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? But if this guy woke up at 9 a.m., ripped 2 big ass bowls, he's out here driving at 10:45, dude, he was smoking weed, you know what I mean? It's just it's hard to have that type of control over people. And I get what you're saying because you're trying to keep it on an even playing field. But a 30 is a different effect. I mean, that's just what it is.
100%, yeah.
There's nobody who's going to be less affected by a 30 than they are by weed.
The levels the levels of impairment are different.
Yeah.
But impairment nonetheless.
Yeah. And that's why you can't make the argument. For me, it would be
I think, and I feel like in a similar way. But I think, when I think like that, I'm also being very biased about the situation. We just need to look at it.
I'd like to imagine that there was something, that is something that we could figure out, of if there's something I can do with my insurance. Of I'll pay an extra $20 a month. If I can drive under that. And then if you do blow it and you tell I had just smoked and I got into an accident, hey, maybe I let you get me, or something like that. Something along the lines of that. No, it's just weird to me because I just feel like literally, I feel like I'm more of a hazard on the road without weed. I truly do, bro. When you drive for 3 hours a day, bro, stop and start. You're
but we also know those people. They get a little smoke in them,
and they're absolutely goofballs.
They're not,
and that's all I was saying. If we could find something,
they definitely shouldn't drive.
What about if I could?
Can I do a high driving course?
I was just about to say it. What about if I could literally smoke weed and pass your test? Then I'll smoke weed and pass your driving test.
You failed for going under the speed limit. What? I was cruising, bro.
I never I feel like
bro,
I've always just felt perfectly fine on weed.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't feel like a dumbass. I don't feel like a stoner.
I think I'm one of those people. I'm also a very defensive, very alert driver. I think I'm a very aware driver.
Yeah.
And
consequences are graver.
Especially when I'm high. I'm also way more relaxed. And I'm actually a lot of times enjoying the drive a little more and cruising a little bit. I may be going 30 in that 35, and I'm in the slow lane cruising. And I'm I ain't in a rush to get over to this left real quick. I'll swing it around.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's not everybody.
I feel like it can do more help in traffic.
We've seen Foley. I've never seen him, but you've seen him driving, zoned out, and driving to park cars.
But also, Foley's that kind of guy where just Trust me.
So
I'm sure some things have happened sober too.
So exactly, but
he's
but
got
those,
just he can't see this right now.
But
with
those
his eyes.
people,
so
like
that's a big issue.
like when it comes to this type of thing, in my eyes, like you can't look at be like, look at all these people that like drive really good high. You look at the people that are like are really bad driving high and be like, look, I'm sorry guys, we just can't.
I totally get it.
This,
Well, I also believe the driver license should probably be raised.
Give me a little marijuana leaf on my shit.
Yeah.
You know how like on the back, like they give you like the B or the F for like being underage or something. Give me a marijuana leaf for being high. I'm high on this road, baby.
Pisses me off. This pisses me off, man.
Yeah, bro. But I mean, like it sucks. It sucks, bro. It does. Why does it piss you off though?
It's just like, why can't you drive on Adderall?
Well, I mean, that makes you really alert. So it's like,
what did we just say?
Well, it makes you.
We just said we felt really better, driving. Like, is that how you feel?
You think you're gonna drive on anything,
But if you drive on
Adderall, it's like, I don't think you should be able to do it. I never said that. I think you shouldn't be able to do that either.
I'm arguing. Why are you driving on the law?
Why are you driving on Ritalin? Why are you driving on Adderall? Like, take the MTA bus. I'm sorry. Like, if you're living with these impairments, you just can't operate a vehicle, especially when other people's lives are being involved. You make a mistake. Probably no one has Adderall.
Okay, here it is, right? You carry it just like they do with alcohol, then, right? Where there actually is a certain amount of drinks you can have and drive.
Yeah, you have a limit.
You have a limit, right? Because it's like you don't go to jail till 0.7.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not high at 0.7.
You can drive with a 0.4.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's actually might be somewhere around.
There's an illegal limit. I think in Maryland it's 0.06.
Which is like, okay, so it's I can have a couple beers.
Yeah.
So then I should better smoke a blunt.
Well, there you go.
I
got nothing to say against that.
Thank you.
What do we do?
Yeah, I had to find something.
What do we say about that one?
But obviously, if you smoke 10 blunts and your shit's 1.4, hey, we're gonna attribute it to that.
Or you did three dabs, 3 dab hits.
You're out here dabbing.
Dabs.
You're just a wild man.
That's what I was. Hey, that's the thing. Like, especially with like this new recreational shit that comes out. Like,
I just don't have the kind of time.
People just have that access that I don't have the money to invest in a $300 pipe for dabbing.
Regardless, I don't have the time.
Plus, I also don't want to dab necessarily.
Yeah, because we talked about like smoking
that dumb high, like either where it's like
I do want to get that dumb high once. I've never ripped a big ass dab.
Exactly, I'll do it once. But
yeah,
there's people that literally do that. Like they'll do that like 6-7 times a day.
Yeah, like
I'm like, bro, like
no,
you literally.
Yeah, at that point we got a problem.
It's at some point, like you're literally.
It's just so much shit you can say, like
especially when it's that intense, man. Like
I love how Youre, Youre.
Yeah.
I love how they just came out there like, we're sorry for getting your kids addicted to nicotine. That's so funny.
Fuck you.
Because like at first they're selling it as like this non-addictive thing.
Marketing it to kids, man.
But then there's like, well, I'm sorry, it's all addictive.
Yeah.
And then it's like they already got you now. You're already addicted.
That's what I think is insane. Like you were allowed to sell vapes before it was even FDA approved. Like what?
Well, technically the vape was, and then they did get that FDA approved, right?
I don't think
the JOUL was
vaping nicotine.
That was their big thing.
I think most of it's not FDA approved.
Right. You mean all together? Yeah.
Yeah, like of course, like it may be now FDA approved with like the proper labeling, but before that, like it was still a tobacco product. It was classified as a tobacco product, but vaping nicotine was not FDA approved. Like when you went to these vape shops,
so you better drive on tobacco
on these flavors. I don't know.
Now we're getting into something like you do get a nicotine high.
But the level of impairment compared
when I got bro, I remember I smoked a whole cigarette one time, dog. I was impaired. Seriously, bro. My head was fucked up.
But you do that, for like 10 years, it's like
what? So now it's the same thing with weed.
You
do that for 10 years. Now it's like,
yeah.
Same thing.
There's an argument to be made, of course.
There's a lot of them, though, right? Like, there's a lot of them. Like,
but I mean, like, there's also not a
you're
cigarette.
Different.
There's not a cigarette impairing you like some weed will. You know what I'm saying? Like the level of, and
if you keep them from smoking in this car, because they could blow 6 cigs.
Nicotine's also one of those that like they get you going. They raise alertness in you. Like they like kind of like wake up like a small slap in the face for you sometimes.
Yeah, but now we're making an argument
And I
of
don't
that,
think-
you know?
I mean,
We're
like,
I'm
I
saying the same
also
thing
know-
about weed.
But I also don't know about any, studies saying that, like, oh, well, nicotine will lower your reaction time or some shit, like, But I don't know, Definitely an argument to be made for it.
But it's one of them things where you can go, well, lower somebody's, right? And that's the same thing we're saying about weed, where you're just like, well, somebody's not good on it, which is true. It's the same thing with cigs. We're just like, somebody's not good on nicotine.
Yeah, true.
So why are we picking and choosing with that? Like,
well, hey,
that's weird, ain't it? It's just weird. It's
yeah.
like when it goes in that case, because I'm just not going to be on that same argument of like, yeah, well, everything else is like this. It's like, no, weed does hit different than a fucking perk 30. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 100%. And cigarette is different than some marijuana.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean,
I was watching
big argument made.
I was watching this little advertisement that they had for like the first like kids car seat, bro. It's just a bungee cord in the front seat.
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah,
just connect it to the fucking
sold in Sears.
Yeah, bro, it's just connected like that, and they're just like, so they can walk around and move while you're driving.
Yeah,
it's funny how dumb you are.
Won't fly out the window.
It's funny how dumb you are at some point, And we're like, what? Finally, they came up with this. They should just sit them there.
I mean, wasn't it to only the 60s where they invented the 3-point seatbelt?
Well, still to this day, you're on a bus with that one with your kids. So,
well, school buses are not required to have seatbelts, I believe.
MTA,
maybe state to state. MTA, definitely. Yeah.
You can go on there.
Yeah, MTA is
with your baby.
Another one. Yeah.
You can go on there in a stroller.
Only person strapped in is someone with a wheelchair. They're strapped in. They're not strapped to their chair.
So.
But their chair's strapped in. So.
I remember back as a kid, like everybody would get so pissed.
Bro,
and you're like, dude's like, he's in a wheelchair, bro. And it's like fucking 2 rows taken up.
Speaking of which, I remember there was one time, on a bus, we may have been going 15 miles an hour, and the bus driver got cut off. And someone turned in front of him real quick, and he slammed on the brakes. And the force throwing people forward is insane. So I mean, but the fucking, if anything needs to be happening, is the MTN get seatbelts for shit.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't be able to let people stand up.
Yeah, then you limit your profitability immediately.
So they cram people in there.
Bro, I've been crammed in there.
Sick.
You're literally you're not allowed to have people above the yellow line. There's been buses crammed in
I don't
the yellow
give a
line.
fuck.
Exactly.
I've seen 1 out of 100 that said something.
You cram those fucking people in that
Scoot
bus.
back. There ain't no room. Scoot back.
Stop letting people on.
Literally. I hate people who don't give their fucking seats up for old women. If you don't give the old man, hey, I think you should, but do what you want, bud. But you don't give it up to an old woman, you fucking dickhead.
Lady, no.
Oh, or somebody with a kid, just give it up, bro. Just fucking stand, you fucking pussy.
Exactly. Get the fuck up.
Seriously. I remember my dad, man, I've actually got a good lesson from my dad, on this one. It's like the one a good one I can remember is the one time I remember I can't remember if a senior man or a woman got on and I didn't get up at all from my seat. And then after that, every time we rode the bus, I had to memorize that little white sticker that's on there. That's
offer your seat to
the elderly or disabled or something like that. Yeah, I had to memorize that fucking thing and say it every time before we get on the bus. I was like, man, that's good. I did that with my nephew. When we was at the park the other day, I was down there and as soon as he gets done, I think it was a lollipop. He throws it right on the ground. It's just a lollipop stick. I was like, at first I was like, oh, all right. I'm like, I'm trying to think, how am I gonna do this? I'm like, all right. First, of course, I'm gonna make him pick that up. But I was like, that doesn't do it, right? Because he's just gonna do it when I'm not there.
Right.
I was like, you know what? We're gonna get a bag and you're gonna pick up all the trash in this fucking park. Made him pick up every single piece of trash, man. I was like, I'm gonna make him do that every time I see him litter. If you ever try to litter, I'm gonna make him pick up all the trash that we see around us.
Right.
That's how we're gonna have to do that lesson. I think sometimes he'll
get it.
You need those kind of things.
He'll get it. You need something to reinforce that. I think that's a good thing.
Well, one of those you just want a dummy smack on the back of the head, who do you think you are?
Yeah, and it's funny this came up because I was thinking about physical punishment, shit like that. I was thinking about shit like that. Today at work because there was a video on Facebook. Where this lady, 16-year-old daughter took her car and then was meeting up with some older dude. And she was whipping the shit out of her ass. Of course that's an extreme. But I was thinking about it. I was just like, why do people think that deters people from doing things? They don't think what they did was wrong. All they do is remember the the pain and torment with the consequence of doing something like that.
And I've told you, I'm a fan of consequence.
Yeah.
But on those case scenarios, when something like I hear my 16-year-old stole my car to go pick up guys, that's a tranny type moment. What am I doing wrong?
Exactly.
That's not my daughter's fault. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of consequence, and I do believe in whooping their ass sometimes because I want that thought behind certain things. You know, like I've always felt like, let's say I had like a 13-year-old son, and I hear, right, that he's bullying at school or whatever it is. And when I establish he's bullying
him at home.
It's not going to be that, right? But we're definitely going to learn about what it feels like to have someone physically hurt you.
Right.
We're going to learn about that today, buddy. That's okay with you? You like doing stuff like that? Like, I like to think I'd raise a better kid. That's always my thing of like, I like to think my kid wouldn't do that.
Kids follow the wrong path.
But let's say we get to that point and I learn about that. Like, okay, bro, today you're going to learn what it's like to be bullied. That's for sure. You know? And yeah, at that point, I would definitely hit my kid. At what girl or boy, daughter or son. If it's a daughter, I'm whooping her ass or her mom can. You know, I'll bust her ass or her mom can beat her body. If it's a boy, I'm beating his body. Like, that's what I'm doing. And not saying that necessarily that's always the best route, right? But there's sometimes where you go like, oh, you don't know what that feels like. Yeah. You don't know what it feels like when someone's bigger than you and does something you don't want done.
Right.
Wow, I thought you got bullied before. I guess not. Okay. Well, then we're going to learn this lesson here. So to me, there's certain situations where it can be embraced. And then there's a lot of times where you just go.
Like, what if it doesn't happen to like high school? I think your son can whip your ass.
Well, he's got to have a fight on his hands every night. He's got to fight me every night, bro.
He's going to learn.
He's going to learn. I'll kick him out. You know, I got other options. Put a little, bro, I'll put a little sleeping powder in his put a little sleeping powder in his dinner.
Fuck him up.
Beat his body with some soap.
Beat his ass.
Soap in a sock while he's sleeping.
Watch your ass. You ever watch that movie 43 or something where it's like a bunch of sketches put together?
I have, but I can't remember it though.
Where like they homeschool their kid and they're talking in an interview, and like we wanted our son to have like the full, you know, high school experience, you know, and you know, we wouldn't miss out on like social instances. So like they have like lockers in the living room.
I remember that.
Like,
yeah,
it's the books out of his hands.
Yeah, she's bullying.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Yeah, and then like nerd.
Has like shit on his like faggot. You know. It's like, his dad gets in the shower with him. He's like, "You got little ass dick or some shit." You know, it's like your little like with a towel and shit. You know. Shit like that. He's like stealing his clothes out the bathroom and whatnot. Like that shit was.
But most cases, I think that you can definitely teach them better through words. I think literally the only time I'm thinking physical violence for my child would be when they use physical violence.
I think like, you know, when you teach them shit like that, like you need them to like have them understand the situation, what they did wrong, why it might be wrong, and like kind of like they need, like I said, like with physical punishment, you don't want them to be scared of them doing it just because they might get hit, but rather than this is something bad, you know,
right?
And that's of course the
perfect way to go about it, right?
Exactly,
but like your son hits you in the jaw, your son punches you. Square up. You're gonna beat his ass, right? You're like, I'm gonna beat his ass. Like, oh, you think you can? Like, it's one of those things, you know, where I'm like, I'm a revenge kind of guy. I tried to be like that with my kid.
Well, like,
you know, but I'm just like,
I think it's tribal right there. You know, where you're like,
it's tribal style.
Oh, you're the top dog. You think?
To me, it's you think I'm a bitch? I got you. Okay. Well,
and then me and his mom bank his ass.
Yeah,
both beat his ass.
His mom in front of him,
and then because of course the mom's sitting there like,
his mom.
Oh, you think my husband's a bitch, huh?
His mom is screaming that night.
Yeah,
loud. Well, he's like right in his room.
It's funny because I saw a meme. It was like you know, my kids gotta understand. It's like, you know, I'm not gonna let him win in video games. I'm gonna whoop his ass and I'm gonna go victory fuck his mom. You know, it's like it's top dominance right there. I'm fucking your mom.
See, that's a funnier thing where it's like,
I'm a victory fuck your mom.
I feel like I would mainly let my kid win. As time goes on, you give it less and less, right? Just like pretty much like that. Like when they're a kid, you're just like
build some confidence. But then, you know, it's like,
when you're a kid, like
we gotta work hard.
When you're a kid, right? I'm letting you win 7 to 8 out of 10. I'm still going to check you every once in a while.
Exactly,
so you know you don't win every time.
Exactly.
Then once you get to about 10 years old,
where you can start, you know,
once you're about 10 years old, I'll let you win about 60.
Yeah.
That's it. You get
Need
a
you to
little bit
understand-
more than
You
me.
need you to understand that,
I can bring
you wanna
it.
beat me, you gotta work.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
know.
get better.
And then when
wanna
you
come
get
in this
when you
team.
get 13, like you're up at that age, now I'm gonna start taking it hard on you.
Exactly.
Right, at things, and because I'm hoping at this point you understand why I'm going hard on you, right? I'm
Exactly,
gonna go. Let me show you how we really do this. You know,
Exactly.
something like that. Trying to teach you the right way of like. Well, at this point, you're playing on the 13-year-olds who got some body on you too, boy.
Exactly.
You know, so don't be mad. I'm
This 13-year-old's my height.
right,
Okay?
exactly.
Okay, you
don't
know?
be mad. I'm bodying you.
Exactly. You know? Get by me, bitch.
Yeah.
You know, get
Fuck
by
with
me,
me, kid. Yeah, when you
Oh,
ugly
man.
ass.
That's
Another
a great
one, baby.
one. That's a good one, man.
Another good one.
We're back. We appreciate everybody watching, everybody liking.
Keep checking it out, sharing, subscribing. We need as many people as we can.
We appreciate it all. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks everybody for getting us out there. Catch you next time.
Y'all have a good night. Hey.